disaster-prone areas of the United States are not where most people would think they are.
An atlas of several hundred federal declared disasters was created by New York University's Institute for Public Knowledge. It says that the earthquake and hurricane-prone parts of the country are not the biggest disaster areas. Instead, it's 8 counties in Kentucky and 1 in Vermont. And these 9 counties have each had more than a dozen federal declared disasters since 2011. Amy Chester, director of the nonprofit disaster prevention focus group called Rebuild by Design, says Tennessee, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Iowa, and Alaska are also hot spots when it comes to places where there constantly are serious storms. I'm Donna Warder.
A Missouri judge has overturned the conviction of Christopher Dunn, who has spent more than 30 years in prison for killing that he's long contended he did not commit. News and analysis at townhall.com. The death toll is rising after rains brought severe mudslides to Ethiopia.
Upwards of 150 people have been killed in mudslides in a remote part of Ethiopia that's been hit with heavy rainfall, according to local authorities. Young children and pregnant women are among the victims of the mudslides in the Kencho Shasha Gozi district of southern Ethiopia, reports a local administrator. The death toll has risen sharply as search operations continued in Gopher Zone, the administrative area in which the mudslides occurred. Landslides are common during Ethiopia's rainy season, which started in July and is expected to last until mid-September. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Coca-Cola is raising its full-year sales guidance after a stronger-than-expected second quarter. The Atlanta beverage giant says it now expects organic sales to grow between 9 and 10% this year. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy
Yes. Tuest day.
Yeah.
The tuest of all of the days.
Yeah, welcome to it. Hope your day's going well. Ooh, kind of hazy.
A little haze. It was very wet this morning.
Yeah, Roy was saying they got hammered on the south end last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall seeing anything last night. I heard a little bit of thunder rumblings, but I don't think it actually rained at my house.
We just got a little bit of late night wetness.
Yeah.
And I think beyond that it was
a few drizzle drops.
Just enough to kind of moisten the ground.
Yeah.
No puddles in my neck of the woods.
Like I remember around 9, it's clock ticking up. I'm hearing thunder and lightning. Maybe we'll get a little something. And
maybe.
I woke up this morning not seeing anything. But according to our weather, we're kind of done with the rain for a bit.
Yeah.
According to this, I'm looking at the next week, and no mention of rain in it.
I looked at the 7-day. I didn't see any hundreds, at least not in the foreseeable future.
No, some 90s.
Nice.
But no hundreds and no rain. But we'll get you.
I think maybe we might be done with the dog days of summer.
Maybe.
Maybe moving on to the back half.
I got a feeling we'll have a hold my beer moment coming soon.
Of course. We're going to have one more massive heat wave just sweep through.
Yeah.
Just to make me eat my words.
It's just you always think, oh, there'll be one more, and there usually is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that in just a wee bit. But happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's going. Of course, we are in Fair Week here as the Chaves County Fair is underway, as is the Eddy County Fair for folks south of us. We do have viewings, live stream and on-demand viewings of all the livestock shows this week at both fairs. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the various channels there. You'll see one for the Eddy County Fair. You'll see one for the Chaves County Fair.
The pet fair and dog show, or the pet show and dog show were last night. The dairy goat show was yesterday afternoon. I'm trying to find the schedule.
All right. I saw it earlier, but I don't have it in front of me now. But yes, of course, I always recommend people, if you can, go out there and sit in the stands and root the kids on, and grab you a corn dog or some funnel cake or something, and then get you a good spot and just enjoy the show. I love it. I if I didn't have like things to do during the day, like a job and stuff, I would absolutely spend the day sitting there watching shows and eating.
It's a blast!
Cowboy chips and cowboy fries and all that.
The Chaves County Fair book.
I'd be doing it all day because I don't know why. I don't want to do it. Like I have no desire to raise the animal or nothing.
Yeah, that would destroy me.
It is entertaining to watch, especially like the swine show is always fun. Any of the heifer shows where you have large animals and small children handling these animals, that's always just impressive and fun to watch. So I'm a fan. I watch it. If I get a chance to sit down and just watch, sure. I remember over the years watching like the swine shows, and I've seen years where it's funny to watch because you see these kids and they're the oldest one's maybe 12, 13. They're all younger, and there's like 6 or 7 of these pigs just kind of rumbling around, and they all got these boards in their hands trying to the pigs into certain pens and things, and the pigs don't always have the same intention as what you want them to do,
right?
And it's just fun to watch.
Oh yeah, no, they have no desire to do exactly what you want.
It's just entertaining to watch kids and animals live in action. Just that's why we watched copious amounts of like cat videos on social media.
That's exactly why.
It's kind of got the same vibe to me, where it's just cutesy fun to watch.
I can't find it, but I think the swine show is today. Not sure 100%.
Can't wait for it.
But those are the fun ones. Those are the fun ones to check out.
Absolutely. So, and then like I said, yesterday had the pet show. So they because we were talking with the 4-H folks last week, and showing animals. And if you're out farming and ranching, but people like us, I never grew up farming and ranching. My farm, my livestock showing is I had dogs and cats. And so that they have a pet category is kind of cool that they do that.
Yeah, it is kind of neat they include the pets. I do think it's kind of funny though. I was raised on cartoons, and cartoons led me to believe that animals were a lot smoother than they actually are.
Yeah.
Like I've always thought pigs were hairless. Because does Porky look like he has any hair?
Porky looks like a smooth shaven.
He looks like he's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Well, things are hairy. Elephants, another great example. Dumbo, you look at Dumbo, he looks smooth as a baby's butt, right? Turns out real thick, coarse hair covered in it.
Well, what about the other cartoon characters? Like Daffy Duck looks smooth, but we know he's full of feathers.
But I've also seen his feathers ruffled in cartoon form. So
Bugs Bunny doesn't look very furry.
Bugs Bunny doesn't, except for in the face where he's got kind of the poofs.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he does look pretty smooth. Now that you mention it.
Only when he nails it is when he starts touching people, and he's like, "Yep, feels just like Elmer Fudd."
So we'll walk up to a random farm. Can I touch your pigs?
You do feel like Elmer Fudd.
You do feel smooth.
Oh man, yeah. But it is Fair Week, so get on out there and have a fairly good time.
That is fair to say.
Oh man, what else is going on here? We do have.
What else is going on? Let's see. History in the making.
That's right.
History in the making. Interestingly, and I actually heard this on Fox News yesterday. Kamala Harris, in a one day, scored the biggest or the most donations in the history of the presidential history.
Oh, yeah?
Like $100 million in 24 or $87 million in 24 hours.
Okay.
It was pretty impressive. So I'd say the race is on. It'll definitely
be getting interesting.
It'll be interesting to watch these next 4 months.
I'm not convinced Kamala's going to be the nominee yet. I
yeah.
think there's till the DNC happens. I make no guesses. I think it could be a crapshoot. I would not be surprised if someone comes out of the third and all of a sudden behind the curtain comes some, it's almost like wrestling night.
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
I'm waiting for some other wrestler to come rolling in to start wrecking stuff and save the day, so to speak. I'm waiting for one of those moments in the DNC. So till that happens, I'm gonna bet on nothing. I'm gonna be like,
that's fair though.
Maybe not. I don't know.
They have their own Hulk Hogan moment.
Well, I just know there's enough people in the Democratic Party that don't want her as a nomination. And anytime that happens, there's going to be people actively trying to get somebody else to do that.
Sure.
So as long as that's afoot, which it is, I make no guarantees about nothing.
Sure. That being said, Roy, you want to see his eyes glaze over? Watch this. Charlie XCX tweeted, "Kamala is brat."
I have no idea what that
means.
means.
Did you see it? Did you see him glaze? Did you see it happen like in real time?
For an instant.
Crazy, huh?
What's it got to do with hot dogs?
I don't know. I watched this thing this morning. It was like, Charlie XCX came out and tweeted that Kamala is brat. I'm like, is that brat or brat?
Yeah.
Is she saying that she's the worst?
Yeah. Maybe she drives a brat. Subaru brat.
A Subaru.
That was a car back in the day.
Well, since you know more about the Democratic stuff, who do you think is going to be the VP pick?
As far as VP, I'm hearing a lot of names tossed around. Gavin Newsom is getting tossed around a little bit. I mean, there's not a whole lot of like heavy hitter names in the Democratic Party. The meme that I saw that was going around was the line for Kamala's VP pick, and it was just nothing but just white guys. Just nothing but like middle-aged white dudes.
And Josh Shapiro was the only one that like is floating around as like a well-known guy, or something.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. When both sides do this game, I just sit back and I'm like, yeah, they're just doing it. And they both sides do it. It's at this point, I'm just sitting back and eating popcorn and watching what happens because I'm like, who knows? This is a complete unprecedented. Like and granted, I haven't paid close attention my whole life in politics. When I was a kid, no one does when you're a kid. But in my time on Earth, I've never remembered a crazier year in government stuff. Just with the snowball of events from assassination attempts to just everything that's going on to a president, and now they're high.
The unprecedented time started when it's very rare. I think it's only happened like a few times in history for a president to have a term and then not have a term and then run for another term. Like it rarely, if ever, happens. And this is one of those. And that was where things started being historically unique.
It has,
and
happened.
it's just kind of snowballed. Oh, it's definitely happened.
Yeah.
The name just like left my head. But one of the early 1900s presidents did. Dang it.
Cleveland.
FDR?
Grover Cleveland. FDR did play 5 terms in a row.
Yeah, he did 5. Was it 5 in a row?
Yeah.
I think he's
the reason why
there's term limits.
They put term limits on it.
I mean, it was unprecedented at that point, and then things have just sort of snowballed from there. It's like, it's also Donald Trump. It's also the guy who was on The Apprentice, which that's already strange enough to begin with, and then you start looking at other aspects of things, and
it's just so
it's wacky.
For me to call shots, I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for. I'm legit waiting for like Mars attacks to happen, and then like Green Men start coming down, and that's what I'm waiting for the next scene in the movie to happen. Is that to happen? This world's bananas, man. So
buckle up. It's going to be an interesting ride for the next few months.
Sean, I'm sure you saw the Hulk Hogan speech.
I did. Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to. I made a joke saying he's gonna say Trumpomania. I didn't actually think he was going to say it.
I assumed he was probably going to say Trumpomaniacs at some point.
I also said Trumpites.
Yeah, Trumpites.
Yeah.
As soon as he came out wearing multiple shirts, I'm like, okay, something's getting ripped. Something's getting torn. Now, here's a question. Do you think that in his older age, Hulk snips his T-shirts, like starts them?
Oh, I always thought he did.
See, I'm sure back in the day. I
think he's always done that.
I thought they were specially made out of like a material that it's easy to rip.
I think they've all been started. I think, I don't think he. Well, I don't care how strong you are. No, he's just ripped a T-shirt.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've done it a few times in my adult life. One of my favorite things to do when as I was like losing weight with keto is if a shirt was too big for me, I would hulk out of it.
Yeah.
But the key is you have to. It's like ripping a phone book. You have to find the weak spots.
But you gimmick it, right?
No, I didn't even gimmick it.
Yeah.
It would just you start here and you gather enough material,
Yeah.
and then you give it a good. You can get a good tear.
Okay.
You just got to get through the collar. Once you get through the collar, the rest of it just kind of goes.
Okay.
This part's another hard part, which you saw too. Once he got to the bottom, he kind of had to re-grab it and re-tear it to get through the
I
bottom
just
part.
assume he gimmicked all his shirts.
I'm thinking he does now. I don't know if I figure back in the day.
Like some of them shirts, like in his heyday, they were pretty much ripped up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I remember right, he had tank tops on, but they already had like those '80s those fashion hole. Yeah.
Did you say fashion holes?
Come see my fashion.
Come check out my fashion hole.
Well, that's the only thing I can
Where it
call
looked like a random ocelot just got a hold of you.
Well, that's what I call like if you see women wear those, you see it on the news a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They wear those dresses and they're usually form fitting and everything, and they're all material, and then they have like a random hole like here or here, and that's what I call those fashion holes.
Fashion holes. I like that. Reminds me of a meme. I'll have to show you in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the fashion holes were there. But I'm wondering if he gimmicked that shirt. I'm not totally sure.
I bet he did.
But it was a good speech.
He's in his 70s, right?
60s?
Is he 60s still? I imagine he's got to be in his 70s.
No, yeah, it's got to be. Yeah,
he's got to be like early 70s, right?
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to live that. Good God, he's 70 years old.
I was about to say he's got to be in his 70 now. He's been 60 for a long time.
I mean, props to the man because I didn't think he'd live to see his 70s.
Like I feel like I've been talking saying he's in his 60s for 15 years. So. Well, all right. So he is 70.
70.
Yeah, I always thought his shirts were like kind of like some weak material or
I think
something too. Like
I think
some disposable, expendable shirt.
He gets all his rippable shirts on Temu.
I think he has like I'd like to see his closet. Like you walk in and there's just like row after row.
It's just shirts. Red and yellow, just yellow tops, red bottoms.
I feel like there is a red, white, and blue section. Mm-hmm. Like where he keeps the keys to that boat.
All his black.
He's got his Hollywood NWO stuff in another closet.
Got the Hollywood Oak section,
and then like a whole section of his closet just devoted to skull caps.
Yes,
skull caps and headbands.
I feel like there is a whole red, white, and blue Zumba pants.
Yep. I can actually see that.
All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Otherwise, I'm getting into fanny packs, and that's where we got to draw the line. We're going to replay our interview this hour we had with Elliot Rodriguez from Loan Depot and Angelica Leva with Harwell and Associates Real Estate. Had a great conversation. If you're someday or soon looking to buy a home or something, they actually Elliot joins us each month with talking, advice on how to do that stuff. So we kind of talk from the loan perspective usually, but we talked from the real estate agent perspective in this conversation. So we'll play that for you here in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with Alethea Hartwell. She joined us last week from the Roswell Communal Theater. This Saturday night is our Curtain Rising event at the Liberty as they kick off the 2024 theater season for the Communal Theater. So we talk about that. And then the folks from the Chaves County Health Council will join us in the 9 o'clock hour. Of course, next month is the health fair coming up August, I believe, the 24th. So we'll talk about that and get everyone of course, they're probably looking for sponsors and everything now. And, of course, just getting everybody informed on what's on tap for this year's health fair. So,
indeed.
Plus, we'll have all of your newses of the local national variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else, we can come up with for today's show. But, Foist, here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like the overall chances for wet weather are going to start to ease across our area for the next few days, holding on to some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances for today. Ample sunshine coming into our highs area-wide, ranging from the upper 80s to the low 90s. Clear out there tonight, our low right around 65, and we are looking dry here Wednesday and Thursday. Abundant sunshine. Highs are right around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently, sorry, I was doing something else and didn't get to my weather. So let me refresh it because it's like an hour old. Currently 65 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90% with winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Expect a high of 91 today under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Overnight low of 65 degrees. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 96 for a high. Winds out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 68 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 98. Creeping to 100, but not quite getting there. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and hot with a high of 98. Then for the weekend, sunny, 97. And then Sunday, 100 for a high there. And then Monday of next week, they're talking 100. So no talk of rain, any of that, just sunny and progressively warmer. But today, low 90s, and then it starts creeping up mid-90s tomorrow and then upper 90s later in the week. All right, 7:23, we're going to get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. Quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Elia Rodriguez and Angelica Leyva, talking real estate, houses, and all that with Loan Depot and Harwell & Associates Real Estate. That's up next. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 813 head of cattle sold on Monday on the steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 3 to 8 higher, feeder cattle steady, packer cows and bulls $5 to $8 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers $385, $417, 3 to 400 pound heifers $342, $367, 4 to 500 pound steers $340, $385, 4 to 500 pound heifers $284, $342. 5 to 600 pound steers, $271, $340. 5 to 600 pound heifers, $250, $284. 6 700 pound steers, $240, $271. 6 700 pound heifers, $222, $250. 7 800 pound steers, $220, $240. 7 800 pound heifers, $212, $222. Packer cows, $135, $150. Canner and cutter cows, $120, $130. Packer bulls, $170 to $183. Feeder bulls, $150, $160. Top half the cow calf pairs, $2,000 to $2,400 per pair. Top half the bred cows, $1,500 to $1,700 per head. The market is strong, so gather some cattle and give us a call. We do appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $1,515 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
Morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, from Loan Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
And has brought a guest with him.
Yes, I did.
Angelica
Yes.
Did I get it? Angelica?
Yes, you got it.
Angelica Leyva. She's with Harwell and Associates Real Estate. Good morning. How are you
Good
today?
morning. I'm doing good.
Good
How are
deal.
you?
Good deal. I had about a 50-50 chance of
You did good. You did good.
I keep wanting to go Angelica. I want to go Angelica, like Angelica Houston.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
But, of course, and now, so for folks not familiar, Elliot is the guy, the financial person. When you're going to procure your loan for your home, he's the man that talks the numbers, the finances, the person you should see first in the process of owning your own home. This is the person you want to talk to first to see exactly how much you can afford. So when you go to pick your home, whether it's your first home or your dream home or whatever, you know exactly what kind of money you're dealing with. And then we go and talk to Angelica here and say, hey, I talked to Elliot. I'm approved for $200,000. What can you show me in that price range? And then that's kind of how the chain of events works when you're buying your first home or any home for that matter.
Correct.
Yeah.
So once you got through Elliot, then you come and say, all right, show me then you get to do the fun part.
That's how it should go. But it's okay. You can always come to your agent.
Sure.
And then, of course, we'll ask
And you
you
can
have
set
you been
them up through
pre-qualified?
that.
Yeah. And then that's when we'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk to so-and-so. And then, talk to Elliot and let's get going.
Well, and I imagine for you as a real estate agent, that's probably one of the biggest when people have their heartbreak moments, like, oh, I wanted to get that house, but couldn't, or whatever. It's because they realize they have their heart set on something. It's like, yeah, but that's a $400,000 house.
Because they do come to me. They're like, hey, I seen this house. I want to check it out. I'm like, well, let's get you established first. Let's make sure.
Sure.
How much house you can get.
We don't want to discourage you for something here because this is out of here.
You can either get had to be a little bit less.
Sure.
Or hey, maybe you can even go more.
Sure. And this is where Elliot, when I have these conversations, he's like, you know what? Okay, you can't get to that house today, but let's talk. Let's build you up. When homeowners, 99% of the time, there's always an exception to a rule because someone hits a lottery or something weird happens. but 99% of the time, you build and you work. And when you're younger and stuff, and you're buying, a good time to buy the first home. I know people say this and getting established, but the younger you can get into home ownership, the more you're investing into yourself. So it's a good idea. The sooner, the better. I mean, don't, sure, if you're only making, $100 a week and you're trying to, let's build there. Yeah. But you can still get there and start building that stuff. And that's where Elliot really works and says, okay, no, I can't put you in a $450,000 house right now when you're only earning X this year.
You could do 410.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we put you in your first home, your starter home. Maybe it's a $100,000 home. Maybe maybe it's ready to move in, but maybe you need to replace the flooring or paint the walls or landscape the yard.
Yeah, the first home, that's something, the first home may not always be your dream home.
Sure.
But hey, it's an investment.
And that's exactly what we're saying.
Jump. It's a great start.
Because every time you're making a mortgage payment on that home, that money's going back to you.
Yeah.
That money's like when you're renting right now, you're paying
somebody else's mortgage.
Yeah, you're building into their nest egg, into their basically value that they're building into this home. So because real estate by and large, unless you make some serious blunders in your purchasing, always increases in value.
Correct.
You own a home 9 times out of 10, you live in it 5 years, it's going to be, or 10 years, it's going to be worth more than what you paid for it 5 or 10 years ago.
I mean, like we spoke before, Roswell's almost like in a bubble.
Yeah.
Than everybody else out there in the market. So it's very weird here, Angelica and I, we partnered in for a while. Okay, so kind of trust each other really well.
Sure.
We help each other really good.
Well, and I know in your line of work, whether it's the financial side or actually selling and purchasing homes, reputation's everything, and it's all about working with and when you come and finding your lenders and things. So, and like you said, you guys have had a lot of working relationships with clients and things, and you kind of know how each other handle your clients and customers, and that serves each other well in your business. So when customers come to you saying, you say, I know a guy, he can work with you, and you give him touch, and vice versa. You're just saying, I got it now. Do you recommend an agent I talk to? You're like, hey, let's talk.
Correct. Yeah, we partner each other. We help each other. And she's bilingual too. Okay, so
So that helps.
Absolutely.
I'm bilingual, so that really helps.
It's a perfect
well, in a world where we live in southeast New Mexico, and
Right.
you know, and most people speak either English and Spanish, or Spanish, or just English.
Spanglish.
Yeah, or a combination thereof.
Spanglish.
And then you're talking to private people and homeowners and things. It's very handy when you have someone like yourself that can kind of navigate and negotiate without, you know, getting because let's face it, you know, language barriers. Sometimes the feelings and I hear what you're saying, but I don't
feel comfortable.
You know,
Yeah, you don't
I'm
feel
not sure if I read where you're at.
Yeah,
And,
it can make the situation a whole lot scarier.
Sure. and with you in the mix, it kind of.
Yeah.
All right, I got a foot in all the worlds here, so I can understand. I can understand the sentiment behind what they're saying too. So that's a big deal.
And that's why when I build a relationship, like me and her have a really good relationship, and I try to do that with every single agent out there. Okay, but I mean, she's awesome. A lot of people don't realize, you know. Well, you know. I mean, the things that we do for some people is incredible.
Oh man, it's
I mean,
insane.
We go the extra mile and we take care of some things, you
Sure.
know, to make sure it happens. And that makes a nice and smooth ride for the buyer.
Yes.
You know, I kind of want to ask, because we talk a lot about, you know, with Elliot and securing finances and the right do's and don'ts and some of that. Since I have you as a real estate agent, I kind of want to talk a little do's and don'ts with you on that. Because we talk the money side a little bit. Okay, we got our money procured. We're ready to buy a home. How do you get the most bang for your buck with that? Is there certain things that you notice that people either look for or don't look for, that just say, you know, you're really kind of wasting your money, or no, you're getting a lot of bang by you know what I mean? Is there certain like things to look for or avoid that kind of people think add or subtract value to their home, but really?
So every purchase is different. Every buyer and seller is different. So no transaction, no one's the same.
There's no cookie cutter.
No, there isn't.
That's why we don't get bored.
Yeah. So we really just have to. I have to listen to, you know, for example, my buyers. We specifically want to stay with 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I show them anything that's in their price range that'll qualify for their loan, because not all houses fit the loan.
Gotcha.
And that's something a lot of people don't know. So anything that's available in their price range, in their desired size, count. Maybe even condition-wise, I'll probably stretch it a little bit just so that they can see the broader spectrum. And then from that list, it can get overwhelming. I like to whittle it down. Like, pick the ones that you really think might fit your needs, your family, yourself, and then we can go see those. We can set up a day and we can knock them all out. And
so is location a bigger variable there than the actual house on it sometimes?
Location is the biggest, kind of the biggest deal.
Sure.
And
because people figure the location's there, I can eventually put whatever I want that suits my needs. The location I can't move or change. You know?
So the biggest thing I can say, like if you don't want, you know, the remodeled house or whatnot, get the ugly duckling of the neighborhood. Because you already know those houses are, you know, the value's already up there.
Sure.
And so anything you add to your little ugly duckling is just gonna bring the value up.
It's going to turn and it's going to be an investment back into you. Yeah,
definitely.
That's money well spent. You know, because I imagine sometimes people think in those terms, and then they put things or do things to the home, and it's like you're not going to get the return on investment you think on that. You know, a pool may or may not help you depending on where it's at and how the pool is done. You know what I mean? If you just dig a hole in the backyard and say I got a pool, that's going to detract. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things that people think, and you know, sometimes the simplest stuff is just the stuff, you know, making it look good. You know, I know like when they talk curb appeal and stuff, it's some simple stuff is like fresh coats of paint, making sure the yard isn't full of weeds and everything. Looks like so. That's your biggest seller and things
that's
like that.
That's where she come in, because we throw ideas to each other.
Sure.
Like when she has a home that somebody wants to get, you know, she's like, Elliot, the place is like this, like that. What do we need to do? So, in the end of the day, we try to make it fit for the individual, because if that's the home they want.
Sure.
Do we do a 2 or 3K renovation loan?
Sure.
Do we do first time buying program? You know, where are we at? So we throw each other and try to get the best deal possible for the buyer.
And I imagine
and that's why we work real good together.
And that's why, like when people are selecting homes, maybe there's two there. There's like, okay, it's something between this one and between this
plan
one,
B and
then it's certain things. But like if you're looking, like I want a hot tub, I want a pool, and those don't check those boxes. That's where you're kind of talking. But location should, because at the end of the day, you can always throw a hot tub in there. You can always add a pool. You can't.
You can always rip up the carpet and put tile,
You can't put in nice schools and nice neighborhood around you.
No,
that happens outside of your variable. So go for that, and you can always add later. And that's kind of what you're saying. If you see an inn, even if it's a dumpy house in a nice neighborhood, maybe go that route because you can change the house. The neighborhood you can't. And that's why you're saying maybe that's the way you get in. You want to get into an exclusive or highly sought area. If you're willing to put a little sweat equity into it or invest the time and energy to do that, whether you do it yourself or hire contractors, but if you're willing to go that route, there is advantages because, you get the neighborhood you want, but you also, as you customize it, whether you do it over time or one foul swoop, now it's yours. You're putting your stank on it, so to speak.
And you even made the property even work more too.
If I want a pink bedroom, by golly, I'm gonna have a pink bedroom. You know what I mean?
No, and it's funny too because it's not always the magic moment. Like, this is the house. Yes, I do get those ones where I either show one house or 10 houses, and they find the perfect one that they absolutely love, and this is it. I have even myself, speaking for myself, when I was looking for my first house. My realtor, she's the one that got me into real estate.
So she must have been good at it. She inspired you to
She was great, yeah.
To get into the profession.
She mentioned this one house, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate that house. I didn't even go inside. I'm like, I hate that house. And so she convinced me to go look at it. And I went to go look at it. And I looked at the neighborhood. The house is ugly. Ugly. But I looked at the neighborhood, and I'm like, oh, we can make it work.
I could see myself living in this neighborhood,
fits what we need. The neighborhood fits what we need.
Sure.
With time, we'll do what we got to do to it. So that's the house I got. And a lot of the times too, I'll show them a list. They won't pick the one that I think will fit them best. That's okay. Well, let's see all of them.
Sure.
And then they don't like any of them. I'm like, let's just check this one out.
Sure.
Let's just check it out. I guess. And sure enough, they walk in like, this is it.
Sure. But that's a good thing too, because let's face it, and this is something Ellie and I say every time is buying a home is probably the biggest purchase any one person makes in their life. That's the biggest thing you're going to, not every day. There's a reason why when you're signing those papers, you're sweating a little bit. It's like, I never wrote a check for this amount of money.
And it doesn't help that the stack of papers are probably like 5-inch thick.
Sure, it is a sweaty, palm-inducing experience when the first time you do it.
And like you and I said all the time, it doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal. You can make it the Taj Mahal
and
afterwards.
That's just it. And that's really where you can come in and you talk to them and say, look, I know you don't see it now, but
it's there.
Here's the potential. If you're willing, and as a real estate agent, you probably have a lot of connections with the contractors, with these people. And so sometimes you're saying, look, if you want to remodel this bathroom, I know a person that I can give them their card, and they can come in and tell you exactly what it's going to cost, and we can have them come in now and look at it and just give you a ballpark of what that's going to take if you want to, if you.
Oh yeah, how many times do I call you and say, hey, do these numbers work? And you're like, give me a second.
No,
or I'll call
we throw
a
back and
contractor
forth.
like, hey, how long will it take you to do this?
And I imagine that's where the good real estate agents come in. That's where they help and navigate. That's where real estate agents earn their money.
Because a lot of people, they don't want to guess. They want, sometimes they want answers right then and there.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, this is even, if I'm going to consider this house, what is it going to cost to do this? Or am I even going to be able to afford the payment?
They want concrete variables.
They want it right there,
And that's when it comes, when you have a good relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Because we throw stuff back each other real quick.
Sure.
Okay. And I actually have an agent say, you could call Elliot anytime, 24/7. It's like, don't tell people that.
Oh, no, I tell people that.
She's like, yeah, that's me. I'm the one telling them that.
They're like, oh, okay. All right. But we throw, information back and forth to each other.
Sure.
And that makes it easier because the fact of the matter, sometimes time is of the essence. And we have to get some answers to these people really quickly. And a lot of times we have to give them answers over and over and over.
Yeah, we definitely have to repeat ourselves because it's so much information that they might forget or they might understood it or whatever.
Sure.
So a lot of the things that we do and say definitely get repeated.
Sure. And I imagine too and this is where you probably deal with this much more than he does is sellers and buyers enter the negotiation process here. There's a lot that can change in that, and there could be a lot of stipulations. Be like, okay, I get it. The family room's carpet is shot, needs to be changed, and all right, we'll knock $1,000 off, or we'll replace it for you if we keep the price the same.
All that that's can be negotiated.
Yeah,
all
and
that.
That's the stuff. That's the devil's in the details.
And that's what
thing.
I tell people. I'm like, I'll guide you, but don't be scared to tell me like what you want.
Yeah, if it's
and
not
then
perfect,
I'll advise you whether
maybe we can get some constituent. Okay, the roof needs working. Okay, and by the way, there's usually you can't really sell houses with bad roofs. They really frown upon that one.
Impossible.
Yeah, someone's going to say something. But if it's that kind of stuff, that's where your agent goes to bat for you and says, all right, we're going to make sure that that's taken care of. So and we're going to put it in the contract. And before everyone we give you keys, we're going to make sure that
sometimes
those things
it's difficult for them because sometimes the sellers they have a mindset that is very hard to break.
Sure,
and they want a house to be sold for this amount. And it may not even be worth that. So it makes it difficult for them.
And this is where real estate agents and lenders have to educate too. And that's where
we constantly doing that.
And because on the buying side, but on the selling side, let's face it, it's no different than anything. If you're selling a car or anything, if it's something that someone has an emotional attachment to, they're going to put an inflated value on it.
Most definitely. I've done it myself.
And
it's
sometimes
just human
you
nature.
deal with that in the real estate world.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Very normal.
But here's the problem with that. There is no lending institution on the planet. Elliot Rodriguez would not have a job today if he gave loans based on people's emotional value.
Right. So that's where the appraisal comes in. So let's say, for example, you put in an offer on a house for $300,000, it only appraised for $295,000.
Yeah.
Unless the buyer can come up with the additional $5,000, typically the seller needs to go down.
Sure.
So or else the deal kind of dies.
And that's where you come in and advise and say, look,
they negotiate and all that.
There's a bunch. So we negotiate. Let's say they get the loan, they find the house, we negotiate, it goes under contract. Then there's still a lot. There's still inspections. There's still make sure surveys. There's still a lot there's still a lot in between.
Sure.
And in the in between, if things arise, like let's say something came up in the home inspection.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we got to renegotiate again.
Because that's got to be addressed, because now this impacts the future financial value of this home.
Yeah, the survey comes in. Okay, is something wrong there? Now we got to talk about that again.
It's full of termites. You just finding out about it. People aren't going to pay $200,000 for a termite-infested home. That's only that ain't worth
Let's get it treated.
Exactly.
Let's get it treated.
And that's where a good agent comes through.
Exactly.
Because the agent goes to negotiate for the individual. There's a lot of good communication going on. I mean, the worst thing that you can ever hear from your buyer is that my agent hasn't called me back.
Sure.
I mean, and those things happen. Unfortunately.
And this is something.
But when you have an agent that actually is going to be there for you and take care of you and take care of business, the same thing goes with me and her. If I was not a good lender, I would actually communicate with her and actually listen to what they need, and I tell her yes, we can do that, and I'll make it work for them. There has to be a two-way highway to help each other.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't do that, every deal that we have will fall through.
And this gets back to people's credit, their history. Sure, if we all walked in with 800 credit scores, and
wouldn't that just be the perfect world?
Yeah, exactly. But that's not the case.
That's not always the case.
Not the case.
And both you guys at the end of the day want to make sure that people hit the American dream. That
most definitely.
you both want to see them sitting on the front porch with the key in their hand, and the whole family about to it's our house now. Get off my lawn. That's
we only have
moment we want to see.
I know. We only have one agenda, and that agenda is to deliver that home for that individual. And so we do, and we turn over everything that we can to be sure that happens.
But that's why, and that's where the real good lenders and real estate agents come in, because there's a lot generally that go. I mean, sure, there's very rare where a sale goes through and everything is copacetic and does right out the gate. There's something. We discovered there's a money issue here, or oops. There is water damage here. What are we going to do about that? We noticed some roof work that needs to get done here. There's always one of those
things
situations.
Are going to come up.
Yeah.
Things are going to come up, but there's no reason to panic.
Yeah, and that's where the agent comes in. And
let's address it and see if we can take care of it.
What I always tell my buyers, is that Angelica and I are the ones that worry and deal with all this stuff. All you need to do is go and take care of your house, take care of yourself.
Sure.
Keep working, keep taking care of business, and give us what we ask you.
Absolutely.
And that's it. You go on about your business and take care of things, and and wait it out. We'll take care of this stuff.
And that's kind of where we talk about, especially and this is, it actually applies on both sides, but probably a little more so in Elliot's world, where, if you think of these folks kind of like your attorney, and what I mean by that is, I get it. Not everybody's financial situation's perfect. You're like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I didn't pay that bill, or I defolted
and
on
that's
that.
okay.
Exactly.
We're human.
but here's the thing: if you are honest and upfront with people like Elliot and Helen here, then you.
Oh yeah.
Then they can work around it.
We'll work through it, and
they can come up with a plan. It's when all the things set up and written and getting ready to go, and they're like, oh, I can't get you approved because you didn't pay $30 to Amazon or whatever it is here. And that's and I get it. Sometimes you're like, I didn't even know that happened, or I didn't. It happens. But that's. You got to think of these two as kind of like your lawyer in that way, and
we really are kind of.
Tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I can't say that.
Yeah, but
I'm just a really good agent.
But tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that way, you guys don't have surprises, and you can work because. Sure, your job would be easy if everyone walked in with 800 credit scores and not one single bill outstanding, and their debt to credit ratio was immaculate and their income level is immaculate. And sure, that'd be easy.
You'd be surprised how many times something happened.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Angelica doesn't know because I take care of it. Okay, but sometimes I do have to share a few things to overcome something.
Sure,
okay?
Absolutely.
And a few times, we have to hey, by the way, the buyer did this, so now we need to overcome that.
Yeah.
Like a new job.
A
new job in the middle of the deal.
And we say
like
it every
that.
time. When you are going through a home loan application, that is not the time to buy major purchases in your home.
Not at all.
And I'm talking even something as much as changing your cell phone plan can ruin or put a huge wrench in that whole work. Sometimes you get people and they're in the process and he's like, hey, I'm going to get you for $200 and all that. And then they're great. We go buy a new home, and then they get that lined up, and then they spend $10,000 on furniture for the new home that they just put on a credit card. No. Once the deal's closed and they hand you the keys, then go talk to the furniture store.
I would still give it a couple days, man, just to make sure.
Right.
I just got a call about that this weekend.
Yeah.
And like, Elliot, I'm about to go and buy some stuff and this and that. And we just closed Friday, right?
Pay cash.
And like,
cash is king.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're already clear and we're funded and everything. So yeah, you could go ahead afterwards. If there's any question ever, just ask.
But I like
your
that.
lender.
I'm glad that they called.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Most of my buyers do. Most of my buyers do.
Well, and that's just it. And
no one will know.
And please do that too. Whether you choose these two or whoever you choose to do these things for you, please. Consider them your expert. If you don't know,
well, you can choose us. We
absolutely. I highly recommend these. But wherever you go when it comes to this stuff, please ask those questions. Please know those things. Protect yourself.
There is no dumb question.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're just thinking about buying. You don't know if you can buy. I don't care.
Right.
Go to your realtor. Go to your lender. Ask questions.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've even had people that have been renting their whole lives and they're like, well, I don't even know if I qualify. Like, well, how do you know if you haven't tried? Worst case scenario, you don't qualify at the moment, but if you have a good lender like Elliot, he'll advise you what you need to do to get you there.
Yeah, he'll give you the
and we've done that.
The script basically to do that. Yeah. Here's the game plan.
He will email you a list of boom, 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 what you need. And if you don't know what pay stubs is, what an appointment letter is, we'll explain those things to you.
And that's kind of the beauty. We talk about credit scores and all this stuff and how so important your life is attached to those things.
Numbers are so important.
But here's the thing too: you can screw it up royally, but it's fixable. Like like no matter how royally screwed up you get your credit. With a few simple things, you start turning it around, and that number jumps exponentially quicker. With sometimes just paying off a loan or getting just something simple,
or
little
adjusting
thing.
a few things.
Yeah. Or let's say you didn't pay your Discover card 6 years ago. You can call most of the time now, and that can go away, or pay $10 and they'll remove it.
Yeah, because I think after 7 years, it's supposed to automatically drop anyway, or
and you
something
can,
like that.
and sometimes it'll still show up, but again. Because title will show all of that too.
Sure.
Once you run your numbers in the title company, all those things will show up. But if at a certain year, let's say 7 years, you can dispute it and it'll just fall off.
Absolutely.
The most important things nowadays is what you've done in the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
That is the most, and even just the last 12 months is the most imperative part of it.
Yeah, they want consistency.
Yeah, because
lately,
imagining somebody has
they understand that you were young and
3
dumb
to 5
sometimes.
collections in the past 12 months, and you're late on everything. Of course, you're gonna have a little problem getting approved. You know what I mean? But I overcome all those things because I tell them what to do, and there's things I can do.
Well, and here's the other thing too: is you get in, and maybe we get you in. Maybe your interest rate's a little bit higher now. That's the beauty of interest rates. What comes up must come down. What comes down must come up. So you're sitting in your house, and then maybe 2 years later, it dropped a full percentage point. Guess what?
Angelica's waiting for the race to get better
Yeah.
so she can
So
refinance.
I'm the one that didn't have the choice because I build.
Sure.
And I got the high interest
Well, you need a
rate.
house when you need a house.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got the. So what is that saying that date the interest rate, marry the house type thing? You can always refinance.
Sure. And then, by the way, as you're improving your credit even more,
you're just gonna get better.
Now you're like,
interest
look, my credit's 750 now. It used to be 650 when I did this. Now it's 750.
Well,
I got 2 years of payment history. All right, maybe I can get a lower rate now.
I remember when she told me, like, Elliot, I want to build me a house. And like, okay, let's do it. You know, so we got it all
Mind you, I didn't think it was possible. I was even doubting myself.
I know,
Just
and I
so
tell
that
her,
you guys know.
give me everything, and I'll tell you if we can do
She's
it.
doing the-
And that was a little while ago, like a couple of years ago, almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
When I
she
wanted
was
to?
she was so worried that she didn't do it, and we actually got her pre-approved.
Sure.
This is the funniest thing, though. I forgot. I think we just got busy and you slowed down and you decided not to do it just yet, but just keep giving me this stuff.
My husband wanted to wait.
Mm-hmm.
He had just got a new job and was promoting and
Exactly.
learning and journeying out and stuff like that. So we waited. We thought it would be best to wait, which now I'm like,
Young couple growing in life, basically.
But at the same time,
exactly.
this shows you because
But sometimes it's not better to wait. That's what I'm trying to
That's
say.
very
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. I think we talk ourselves out of it or over intimidated
It really
by the
does.
process.
It really does.
No,
and then
it
you
is
get in it,
scary.
you're like, that's what I was worried
That's
about.
my profession, and it was scary for me.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the funniest thing is when I got her pre-approved, I say, yes, you can do it. And I
Sure.
think she didn't even believe it for a moment, I guess.
Well,
because I think she was like worried, like, oh, see, I can really do it?
I was even still worried while we were building. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money.
So this is the perfect example because she came to me and we did it.
Sure.
And I can broker it out to another building company.
Sure.
But I gave her the choice because I have relationships here in town too, in people that she even knows herself.
Sure.
And she decided, yeah, let's do the local because it's easier.
Yeah, local's always easier.
So I didn't just say, you know what, I'm gonna double dip here and I'm gonna have 2 deals. No, I gave her the choice because it's about taking care of the customer.
Absolutely.
And this is a perfect example. It's somebody that I deal business with. She trusts me, I trust her, so we do back and forth.
Sure.
So she got to see, how it's done. And I keep telling her, no worries.
He answered my dumb question.
And I keep telling
just
her,
in
so
case.
this is a perfect example. An agent, and she knows what she can do.
Sure.
But even her, she was like a little worried about it.
Absolutely.
And I tell her, no, you just keep doing your business.
And
you
it's,
keep doing stuff.
it's natural. When you're talking
it's normal.
6-figure numbers for things, that's unless you're a Trump or a Bancroft or whatever out there, you 6-figure numbers are very scary.
Yeah.
And so I don't care who you are.
So even then, if it was scary for me, that's my profession, just imagine how
This is a
scary
good
it is
example.
for
This is what I'm talking
a
about.
brand new buyer. And a buyer that probably came from a generation that has never bought before.
Absolutely.
That's even scarier.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
you're
that's
right.
why I always tell them.
And that's what I want to show you. It's like, come see it. Come do it. And
that's why we always say that.
And I imagine for you, that's probably made you a better real estate agent because the things you've learned through your own experiences doing this stuff.
Well, she's going to be even better when she does. Somebody wants to build a
I'm
house.
sure you've had a lot of your clients that are looking in very much in the similar situation you were in here, and you're like, "Look, I just did this myself. Let me show you how it's done." And,
I really have to sometimes tell them, like, you're not the only one. You are not the only one. You're not alone at this.
Absolutely.
You do have to buckle down. Like, buckle
It does
down.
take discipline.
If you want a house, you're going to get your house.
It's
Trust
like
me.
any other goal in life. If you want it, you're going to have to work for it.
Definitely.
Don't
It's not gonna
nothing's
come
come
to you.
free.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not as hard as you think. And once you get it's kind of like working out and creating it's like working out's hard, but once you establish a routine and you kind of get then you're like, all right, now and home ownership and your finances is kind of the same way. Establishing routines, patterns, knowing exactly what to do here.
So we think it's hard. But it really isn't.
It's not. It's just planning.
It's just all in your head for the most of the part. And as long as you submit whatever your lender gives you to submit, listen to our advice. Don't pay things off. Don't close anything out, but pay things off. It really is easy.
And I think it's a good personal lesson because it really forces you to say, what am I spending my money on, and do I really need to spend my money on that?
Exactly.
Because if you think about it, her deal.
Yeah.
Her deal, I mean, if you think about it, we actually me and her were waiting. We're trying to just waiting for these things to get done.
Sure.
And because when you're building a home, sometimes things take a little longer than you usually supposed to.
Yeah, it never goes as planned.
Anytime you do a
6
construction,
months, it's going to be 7, 8.
I don't think I'm 51 years old, and I've never seen a construction project start on the date that they initially said it was going to finish on the date they said it was
that just went down to the penny.
I don't want to hear it.
Because I know her took a little longer, but you know what? It wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard.
Like she was saying.
It was so worth it. Yes, I stressed because I wanted to. Because honestly, I kept thinking I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to run out of money. No, we didn't.
Right.
Because I was careful. I paid attention.
Sure.
And it was just me psyching myself out.
Sure.
But honestly, if I didn't stress myself, it would have been so easy. And I would have enjoyed the process a whole lot more.
And it's part of that's learning is if you do your homework, find the right people. You have the right lenders, you have the right contractors that are doing this work,
and she
do
did
your
good.
due diligence.
She did really good.
Yeah.
Because whatever my assistant asked her that she needed from her, she got it for them.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, she is heaven on earth.
Nice.
I have a good team.
Well, put them to work for you.
Yes.
That's the thing. And
that's what we do.
So I just saw the time. We probably need to wrap this up. But I know we kind of focus more on the real estate side here today.
That's fine.
But
that's no big deal.
But put it this way: if your home and your family is looking to get in the market here, please talk to Elliot first, so he can kind of give you what you're playing with. And then we'll go talk to Angelica here and say, let's go play.
And a lot of times we talk at the same time.
Sure. Obviously. But first things first, reach out to Elliot at Loan Depot. You can call him direct, 719-237-4680. That's his cell. It's with him all the time. Leave a voicemail if he might be in a meeting or something. You can always call the office, 505, which is here in town, even though it's got a 505 number, 505-445-2070. Or you can shoot him an email, Elliot Rodriguez, one L on Elliot, Z for Rodriguez at the end, at loandepot.com, all one word. Or that's his actual email address. You can go to his website as well as www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word. And there you can see more about Elliot, more about all of what Loan Depot can offer, things like that, and everything else. For you, Angelica, what's the best way? Just call here, or what's the best way to kind of get the ball rolling?
So the fastest way to get a hold of me is just call me directly on my cell. It's 575-420-8044.
Okay.
Our office is 575-748-1036.
Okay.
We are located in Artesia, but I live here. I was born and raised here in Roswell, so I live here in Roswell.
There's a lot of people that work in Artesia and live here.
Oh, yeah.
And she actually has a listing that she wanted to list.
I do. I have an amazing listing. I'll make it really quick. So it's 60 Carson City, located in Dexter. It is a double wide mobile home on permanent foundation, so it qualifies for all the loans.
Okay.
The asking price is $230,000.
Okay.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over 1,800 square feet. A little over 3 acres.
Okay, so it's got 3 acres of land.
Yeah,
nice.
Clean, nice property. I mean, it's one to look at.
Excellent, and that's the beauty. If you're like, well, I don't want a double wide. Well, you got 3 acres of land out there. We can put something else out there.
You can build a house if you want.
You can live in it, and it's 3 acres. We can build a house.
Not far from town. It's great.
I mean, if it's perfect for you already, awesome. But if you're looking to want to upgrade, this is what we were talking about earlier. You get your foot in the door, and let's do this. If you're like, I don't want a double wide. I want a permanent structure. Okay. It's your land. You get to do what you want with it.
Out there that are listening, don't be afraid of what is happening in market, what is happening in election year, all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that stuff. If you need to buy a home, you got the issue, do it. You need a team like this, that we can communicate back and forth and make sure that you get the house that you need. And
Absolutely.
that's very important.
Yeah, it's always a great time to buy.
And that's what makes it a good buying experience or a bad. It's it's not always. I mean, sure, it's nicer when you paid less for it. Yes,
Of course.
But interest rates are going to be what they do, and life's going to do what it's going to do. You need a home. That's the time you get it, and you can always better your situation later because, like we said, what comes up comes down.
Exactly.
What
she's waiting for the rates to get down, and she'll refinance her house.
You're in the game. That's what matters. You're working. Every dollar you spend is going back to you. Every time you make a mortgage payment, a percentage that's going back to you.
Yes.
Back to you. So when you turn around and sell that house in 5 years, 10 years, or whenever it is,
he'll go back to you.
You've got the equity because the house is valued more, and whatever you've already paid goes back into you. So now you can put that into your next home.
Pay your own mortgage, not somebody else's.
Exactly. So please get it done and talk to these folks here. So, well, thank you guys. I'm sure you got a few.
Well, thank you for having me. This
anytime.
was fun.
She was all nervous.
She was all nervous.
Just
be you. Just be you.
But I'm sure you got a few fires to put out right now, so I'll let you go do that. In that world, there's always probably 12 people blowing your phone. Oh my gosh, I need this right now. They're going to buy. What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm sure you got that all day.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you for having us.
Anytime. It is 9:59. Quick break before I get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
This month, the Federal Aviation Administration said Monday that it's investigating. Information from Flight Radar 24 shows the plane at low altitude over Old Tampa Bay on July 14th. Keith Peters reporting.
Britain's police chiefs say that violence against women and girls has reached, quote, epidemic levels, and police are treating it as a threat on the same scale as terrorism. More than 1 million violent crimes against women and girls were recorded by UK police in 2022 and 2023. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Opposing Palestinian factions have sought common ground in China-sponsored talks.
Chinese state media says Palestinian factions Hamas and Fatah have signed a declaration in Beijing on ending a years-long rift. Multiple previous rounds of talks meant to unite the sides have failed, casting doubt over whether the China-sponsored negotiations might actually lead to a resolution. The declaration comes as Israel and Hamas are weighing an internationally backed ceasefire proposal that would wind down the 9-month war and free dozens of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. But even after a deal is signed, the vision for a post-war Gaza remains in doubt, specifically over who should rule the war-ravaged territory. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Germany's governing coalition and conservative opposition have presented a plan to protect the country's highest court against possible future manipulation by authoritarian politicians. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
What they call the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Look to it. What kind of feeling out there? The rain is done.
Yep.
Feel like we always had rain chances, and like, ooh, but today, no, that for at least a week it looks like.
It is still kind of like post-humid Like, just because there's wetness on the ground. So it's kind of that weird, like, warm, but also with a hint of gonna make you sweat. Not CNC Music Factory gonna make you sweat.
As one.
Yeah.
But and it'll kind of balance out because the temps are cooler right now, like low 90s today. But by the end of the week, we're back up near 100.
Yeah.
Like by Sunday, I think we're 100 again. So it'll burn off back to
all the
dry heat. The dry heat we come to know.
We'll be back to an oven before you know it. By the way, the Market Swine Show is just getting underway.
Nice.
At the Eastern Mexico State Fairgrounds.
I thought it smelled.
Yep. I guarantee at least 2 of the pigs out there today are named Chris P. Bacon. Guaranteed.
Pork chop.
Oh, good one. Crispy bacon.
Well, no one names their pig limp bacon. Or
personally, if I had a pig, I would name it Chop Suey. I think that's funnier.
What would I name my pig? If I had a pig, I don't know. I'll think about it.
You have to.
It's definitely a food product of some kind.
What about Michael Pig Winters?
That's right.
That's what the P stands for. We know.
Pig Diddy.
Pig Diddy. Oh, speaking of getting canceled. Boy, it has been a rough few months for one Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah.
More and more stuff's been coming out, and it ain't looking good.
Yeah, well, when you have a weekend of when nothing but on the news is footages of various homes of yours getting raided. I mean, that's a bad weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't great.
Yeah, that tends to say, yeah, you know what? Today's a bad day.
It's the whole, Jesse from Breaking Bad. He can't keep getting away with it. He won't. Turns out he won't. He's getting calling to the roost.
Yeah, but is he? Like, you wonder. Like, after all is said and done, he's just going to end up living in some island in some non-extradited country, sipping various drinks out of coconuts and, that kind of thing.
More than likely, he's just going to, head somewhere else, somewhere sunnier, and live off of the millions upon millions that we've, for some reason, given him over the years.
Yeah. By the way, have you drank drinks out of coconuts before?
I have not had a drink out of a coconut. I have drank out of a pineapple.
Okay. But you've had out of various fruits.
Yes.
It's fine. I'd rather have like a ice cold water. You know what I mean? It's like I get it. I'm like, this isn't as refreshing as I'm hoping it would be.
It's not. You're not going for necessarily the refreshing aspect. You're going for the. I'm
just tired.
I'm off on an island.
But then I'm tired of carrying this oblong, long, weird cup that has drink in it, and I'm like, it tastes alright.
It is weird. Like about halfway through, when you're holding a pineapple with a bunch of frilly stuff and a straw out of it, you're like, what do I do with this now?
I could have had a V8.
Like I don't want to throw it away because there's still some good pineapple in there.
Do I eat it? I don't know what to do with my
hands. It's exactly big enough that you can't exactly fit it in a pocket or a fanny pack.
Right. I'll save it for later.
It's just inconvenient. However, I did read a hack last week. This was an airplane hack. They're talking about how you can't take liquids on planes more than 3.5 ounces. But did you know you can take whole coconuts on an airplane?
Oh, good.
As many as you want. Now, here's the thing.
I guess it depends on where you're going.
Well, yeah. But if you take a metal straw, which you're also allowed to bring on aircraft, there's the 3 holes on a coconut. One of them is a soft spot. If you jab that straw into the coconut, you got 7 to 32 ounces of delicious coconut water.
Okay, so you've done some coconut peeling already.
No, this is like a regular coconut, already husked, obviously.
Yeah, I would say that because normally it comes in the husk and everything else, so you've peeled that part.
Well, yeah, if you're pulling them off a tree, sure. But if you go
to be honest, that's the only one time I've had Fred that was like legit was that way. When I was in the Boy Scouts, there was a coconut tree. We knocked one out of the tree and ate it. That was the one, and it was the husk, the whole. So when I think of coconut, I think of it in that form. So I'm like, no, you're not done peeling it yet. There's still work to do.
Right. But no, I've had them from the store. In my high school days when we were going through our Monty Python phase, we had to get coconut halves so that we could do our galloping.
The horsing.
Yeah. Myself and And I love breaking this out. The current band director over at Sierra Middle School, one Whitney Bain, would gallivant around the Walmart at like 10:30 at night with our coconut halves, and one of us just because you gotta assimilate the character, you gotta assume the role. That was fun.
Yeah. See, I wonder if like a percentage of people get it today because they're older, but like if you did that probably when you were then, everyone knew.
Oh yeah.
Now you're like,
although it is
what's the percentage of the audience would actually get it?
I like to think that it's one of those iconic movies that has like, especially in nerd circles.
Yeah.
Like in amongst, like for us, it was band geeks, but amongst circles of people who, frequent nerdy activities, D&D, Renaissance Fair people, they generally know.
Yes, they do. But here's the thing. Most people aren't those.
That's true.
So when you're walking around Walmart doing that, there's a smaller, and you're right, because I always think like you do. I'm like, oh, yeah, surely no. But then I always have moments when I interview people on radio, and I'll never forget interviewing some high school kids about 10 years ago. And this is like 10 years ago. This wasn't like last week.
Right.
Like 10 years ago. And I was making Back to the Future references, and they literally looked at me like they had no idea what I was talking about. And it wasn't like one kid, it was 3 kids. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but how do you not know what Back to the... I mean, you may have never seen it, but you got to at least be aware of its existence.
That's the fault of the parents. I say that knowing that my kids don't know what Back to the Future is. But
I mean, I'm not saying you have to watch it, but it's on TV somewhere at any given time if you have cable or satellite or something. You could almost turn one of your 150 channels, one of them showing one of the Back to the Future movies at some given point. And usually it's all 3 at one point, because usually when they show it now, it's like, oh, we showed you the first one. Well, shoot, we got another 6 hours to kill. Here's number 2. And then, why not? Here's the third one.
Here's 3.
They always come in 3s. That one, they always show it in marathon form. But not the Bill and Ted's, not some of the other ones, but that one they do.
That one particularly was a trilogy worthy for sure.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We're gonna have get you updated with the weather and all that here in just a bit. Then in just a few, we'll play our interview we had with Alethea Hartwell with the Roswell Community Theater. This Saturday night is their Curtains Rising event out at the Liberty as they preview the upcoming season, and they have their play, the mystery play that they've got going on at the. I don't know if they're doing the whole play Saturday or just like snippets of it, because the actual play opens up in August here.
I think last year, like if I remember correctly, last year they just did like scenes.
Yeah, I think that's what they're in, because you don't want to give the whole thing out, when you come back next week.
Well, and plus there's plays at the end of the play cycle that haven't been cast or necessarily looked into. So,
and what they'll do is they'll preview the whole season. So they'll do some of the first show, but then the directors will talk from all of the shows coming up this season and give a synopsis of what the play is and all that. Yeah, they haven't picked cast or auditioned yet, except for the first couple shows maybe here. But yeah, does Alethea actually run down the season in this interview? I believe we do.
There you go.
I believe so.
Get to find out what's coming up this season.
But she might have held a few of the fruits in the bushel there a little bit. Tease them for Saturday night. Nice. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on your Fair to Midland weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like the overall chances for wet weather are going to start to ease across our area for the next few days, holding on to some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances for today. Ample sunshine coming into our highs area-wide, ranging from the upper 80s to the low 90s. Clear out there tonight, our low right around 65, and we are looking dry here Wednesday and Thursday. Abundant sunshine. Highs are right around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 65 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90% with winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Sunny, high of 91 today. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 65 degrees with east winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny, 96 for a high. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 68 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 96. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10. Kind of familiar each day, huh? Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 98. Saturday, sunny and a high of 97. And sunny and hot with a 100-degree temp high on Sunday. And then Monday next week, 100 as well. So we're slowly creeping to 100 all week here. And then about Sunday, we're going to hit it officially. All right, it is 8:17. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Alethea Hartwell from the Roswell Community Little Theater. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available, plus trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts, presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales New Mexico Lodgers Tax.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Community Little Theater, Alethea Hartwell back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life at the theater this morning?
It is moving along.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You guys were kind of in your off season, if that's the word you want to use. I mean, they have like a formal season where they start shows, and we're about to kick it off here,
Right.
which we're going to tell you all about in just a few. But, the summer is technically the off season, but they
Yeah.
usually have several different plays or events or projects that are going on throughout the summer here. And this summer was also part of that too. I know you had some workshops and a few other things going on throughout the summer here.
Yeah.
So off season's a relative term.
Yes, that's true.
But that being said, we are getting ready to kick off a new season of entertainment at the Roswell Community Little Theater, and kind of the season kicks off here on July 27th, right, with the big dinner at the Liberty here.
That's right. So, yeah, we've got our Curtains Rising event, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yeah.
And it basically kicks off our season.
Yeah, and so it's a fun night. We're gonna have a great dinner. Liberty, as usual, we'll put out a great meal here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we want people to come and fully immerse themselves in the event. The theme for this year is getting folks to come as your favorite historical characters and things.
Yep.
So,
Or living work of art.
ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can come as a bowl of fruit.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like the Mona Lisa.
I got you.
know.
Okay. Maybe
Whistler and his mother. That's
okay. I like it. I got you. Maybe you could definitely do the what's the one with the Iowa with the husband and the wife with the pitchfork.
Farmer.
Yeah, what's the name of that?
I don't
can't
remember.
the name
I
of that
can
painting.
never remember the name of that picture.
But you know the one I'm talking
Yes.
about. Not Whistler's mother. That's the one with the rocket chair lady. But
Yeah, right.
I can't remember the name of the that too. But anyway, go as that, or of course, historical figures. There's a lot to choose from. You could go.
Yeah, Cleopatra.
Yeah, you could go that, or you could go like old American.
Right.
Come as your favorite founding father, or come as like you said, or come as Caesar, or come as
Right.
I don't know. There's so much to choose from. You could be Genghis Khan if you want to.
The hope is that, it'll kind of look like Night at the Museum. You know how in the movie they're all,
But we need a Teddy Roosevelt amongst the crowd.
all the things come alive, know.
So maybe you can come, like, if you don't have a particular one, maybe come as like a cavalry guy or something like that. Dress up in look like a military figure. Like maybe you're like a old British soldier or a continental soldier or something like that. Have fun with it. Yes. Think of the movies, the Night at the Museum movies, and use that as kind of your palette for your costuming. So, but if you just want to, hey, now I got an excuse to be Abe Lincoln. All right, come as Abe Lincoln. That's great. We'd love to have you do that. But so kind of give a rundown of what's going to happen that night on the 27th. What's kind of the flow of the evening?
Okay, so we are obviously having dinner, drinks at the Liberty. There's going to be a murder mystery play that will take
Entertainment,
place.
of course.
Entertainment. We've got a silent auction as usual. That's kind of one of our big mainstays.
Yeah.
And we have a live auction that will auction off one large, really nice item for each play of this season.
So the cast, or the director and cast kind of put together, the director of each play this season puts together a gift basket kind of themed around their play.
Right.
Good deal.
Right. Yeah, and they're very nice baskets.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, one of them has like LaFonda
Ooh.
Gift certificates and that kind of thing.
The one in Artesia or the one in Santa Fe?
A Santa Fe.
Oh, gotcha. Either one's good. I'll take it. But
yeah.
It's like, yes, I'll take it.
Yeah, and something else. I forget all the stuff, but they're nice baskets.
I
have to bid on those.
Well, I imagine like just for the Murderous Night at the Museum, that's got to be an interesting creation basket there, just to kind of surround that theme. Here.
Yeah.
Which that is the opening play.
It is also our opening play. We decided to put that one in. The other one kind of fell through, and so that one is taking its place. And
next man up kind of situation.
Right,
here.
right.
Yep.
So it will open on August 16th, I believe, is the date.
Yeah, I think. I'm at the website. Yeah, it's showing August 16th to the 25th. So it'll be that 16th, which I believe is a Friday. Then the 17th, which is Saturday. Those are evening performances at 7:30. I never get that right. 7:30. I get there at 7. You're on time.
Right.
And then the Sunday matinee there at 2:30.
Right.
And then we'll do it all over again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Right.
same times. The evening performances Friday and Saturday night at 7:30, and then the Sunday matinee.
Right.
The one-stop shop to get tickets for this, and even links to get tickets for Curtains Rising on the 27th here is you can go to the Community Theater's website, which is roswelltheater.com.
Right.
Spell theater like live theater, THEATRE, not the eater like when you go to a movie theater, which, by the way, if you don't know how to spell like a movie theater, just put the eater together and
Right.
you spelled it correctly. But spell it the other way. Revert the RE at the end there.
Right.
And you can get tickets. You can also get tickets for the Curtains Rising event at thelibertyinc.com.
Right.
And
tickets are running out fast.
So get your tickets
get
now.
your tickets
We're only
now.
a couple weeks away from
There's only a few left.
Curtains Rising, literally.
Right.
Is there still time for donations for silent auction and sponsorships? Is there still windows for that, or is that pretty much full at this point?
I'm not sure about that. I think we'll always take nice items.
Yeah, I'm sure if you can, I'll put it up on a table and let someone bid on it. You'll
Right,
take it
we'll
as
take
long
it.
as it's appropriate.
Yeah. If businesses here in town want to donate to the silent auction.
Contribute, be a part of all,
Right.
and what you're doing is you're supporting the Roswell Community Little Theater in the season here, and they are such a, for folks who don't know, they do more than just put on plays every couple months here. They are very much in the part of the community. They have the CAPS program, their kids arts program. They really work in the community, working with folks to get them opportunities to do things to kids, adults, everyone else. So it's all self-supporting. They have their own facility there, the old Park Twin Theater. They purchased it and converted it several moons ago, and now have been renovating it and updating it, remodeling as needed. And so all the money, when you come out and have a great dinner and all, it's supporting putting out shows, keeping that facility obtained and maintained, and allowing the next generation of people here in Roswell to enjoy theater and community theater and get to go and enjoy the things. And by the way, it can be quite expensive to put on productions like this, because just take this, the Murderous Night at the Museum. Someone wrote that play.
Right.
Someone, and there's a whole, and you have to give credit and pay where that's due for that. It's no different than when you buy your Amazon Music accounts and all that. You're paying artists and songwriters for their property, their intellectual property. It's no different for community theater.
Right.
When these plays come out, the director, the writers, the creators of these projects get paid for that. That's how they make their living. So it can, and the bigger the play or the bigger the name, the title, usually the more expensive it is. And,
Yep.
and when you tack on a company like Disney beside it, then it gets really expensive, and it gets
Right.
really meticulous in the details. And that's the other thing. They, when they agree to sign on to do these plays, they have to meet certain obligations. Some
Right.
plays allow you guys a little creative license so you can cut corners to save money if you need to. Others aren't so luxurious in that need. And they say, no, if it's a blue wall with a blue thing, then you got to make a blue wall with a blue thing. You know what I mean? If the dress calls for this, that's what the dress calls for. And so, each play is different. But when you're supporting and bidding on these items and coming out and enjoying a great play and eating food, you're contributing to these next generations of that too. And if you want to get more involved, they're always looking for volunteers to serve in many roles, from as high as to serving on the board to ushering people to their seats on show night. They need all of the above for those kind of things. And of course, get online, get onto their website. They always have auditions for upcoming plays and things. Keep tabs on some of those, and who knows, maybe you could be the star of one of these productions later on down the road here in this coming season. So, but first things first, get your tickets for Curtains Rising here again, July 27th. What time does everything start there at the Liberty?
I believe doors open at 6:30.
Very good. So get there at 6:30, mingle, have a drink, start bidding on your silent auction.
Right.
And probably around 7 or so, they'll start serving dinner, and then the evening's festivities will kick off from there.
Right.
So, but come ready to have fun. They're always fun. Come start plotting and planning your costume now. Getting your outfits together, historical figures or live art history. Just think of the Night in the Museum movies and characters and themes of those movies. And if you dress in something like that, you're going to fit in quite nicely.
Right.
So,
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it's optional. You don't have to dress up if you don't.
Sure, if you just want to wear your normal attire, by all means. But if you want,
a lot of people ask.
You know, and I imagine you usually do prizes and things for like the best dressed.
There will be a prize for best costume. I think they're doing one for female, one for male, and so
you know, and then you get a little fun and have some, you know, a little fun. And who knows, you could win some great prizes. And of course, bid generously on these silent auction items in the live auction when it happens throughout the course of the evening there. And do you know what the menu is yet? Off the top of your head, what Josh and Liberty have planned?
No, I cannot remember.
Right.
I know there's a chicken dish, a beef dish, and a vegetarian.
A little something for everybody. So if you're a chicken, beef, or veggie person, there's a dish to kind of to satiate your desire.
Right.
But definitely. But I know some people are like, ooh, okay, all right, I'm definitely there now. It's steak night or it's whatever night.
Right.
But come out.
I think it's beef bolognese, and then roasted chicken quarter. I think with vegetables and baby bakers.
If you do rent your costume, wear a bib just in case you don't want to get sauce or anything on that. If you have to return it and you got bouillabaisse all over your Abe Lincoln outfit.
Yeah. Right.
And can we just talk now? And like I said, Murderous Night, the museum's going to kick off right here, August 16th to the 25th. But we are previewing the next season stuff. Talk about some of what's ahead for the 2024-2025 season.
So in October we have the Canterville Ghost coming, and that is based on an Oscar Wilde story.
Okay.
And the mansion is haunted by this ghost that's not very good at haunting.
So I take it this is a comedy.
It is a comedy.
Right. This is starting to remind me of those is it Geico or one of the commercials where the ghost is in the kitchen and he's like, "Oh look, a sign says kitchen. I would have known it if it went for this sign." You know, it's kind of like that.
So the ghost is kind of inept at ghosting, and the family that buys the house has to figure out why this ghost is haunting the house in order to get rid of it.
Set it free.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's comedy. I don't believe the original story was a comedy, but
the live for theater version
based
has been
on that story is a comedy. And then in January we have the story Now and Then, which is kind of like a what would have happened if you never lived, kind of like what is
almost
it?
like
It's a Wonderful Life
story.
or
a Christmas Carol or something where it's like, this is what happened had you not been here.
Right, or if you had made a different choice.
Sure, the what if game.
Yeah. So that's coming in January. And then we have the Explorers Club, which is the end of March, first week of April.
Okay.
And that is a story about, it's set in late 1800 England.
Okay.
And it's a group of men who have this explorers club, and lo and behold, a woman wants to join the club. What do we do? What do we do?
Harumph.
Right. And so, we've never had a woman before, blah, blah, blah. And so,
this is Explorers. Let's explore that option.
Right. So she brings back this native from this unknown tribe, and in that tribe, when they say hello, they slap each other in the face. So she takes him to meet the Queen of England. And this is what happens. He slaps her in the face, and the Queen of England declares war on the tribe. And it's really
that feels very Mr. Bean-like to me.
It's very funny. Yeah, it's a lot of silliness, but it is kind of, it's got the social commentary of the woman trying to break through the glass ceiling.
To be honest, if you're a fan of like Monty Python-esque type humor, this sounds like this is right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, it's English.
Yeah,
so,
it's definitely got that. That's what I'm thinking, Mr. Bean, and that very much that cheeky humor that they have.
It is. Yeah. It's got funny humor.
Yeah, which I love. I'm a fan.
And some good physical comedy.
Good deal.
So
excellent. And they have not selected casts for these yet.
Oh,
so
no,
if you're interested in being part of these, pay attention to the community theater's website for audition times. We'll certainly announce them as we get them here on the morning show. But definitely, and then what I recommend you do if you're interested in definitely wanting to come to some of these shows, or if you're interested in getting more involved as part of the cast or part of the crew of these shows, go to the RoswellTheater.com website. When you get there, there'll be a thing asking for you to kind of put your email in to stay up to date and stay informed on what's going on. I highly recommend you do that. I also recommend, if you're a Facebook user, go ahead and like and follow the Roswell Community Theater's Facebook page. That's probably your quickest way to get information on immersive dinners, because every one of these plays usually immersive dinner, a week or two before the show,
Production, yeah.
and I tell you, every one of these sell out. Most people, before they even find out about it, it's sold out already.
Yeah.
So like and follow the page. That way, when it's first announced to the public,
Right.
that's usually where it's first announced
Right.
to the public. So
Yeah.
you can get first in on that. And if you're not familiar with those, it's the crew, the cast and crew of the particular play serve as your dining staff. They
Right.
I don't think they cook the food. They have professional chefs, but
Yeah.
as far as waiters,
It's
you know,
catered.
your maitre d's and all that side, the service side of it,
Right.
is the cast and crew, and they're in character.
Right.
And so they give you nuggets of information leading, especially if it's a mystery or something.
Yeah.
You get a lot of insight on maybe who done it a little bit, or maybe a few clues on where to pay attention to when you go to your evening or day of the show and do all that. But and like I said, the dinner's usually themed to the thing, and we have some usually great restaurant partners in the past. I know Peppers, Sarah's, there's been a few others
Yeah.
that have always partnered with you guys to provide excellent meals
Right.
each time, and that will be the case for this season too. But like and follow the Facebook page. That way you can stay abreast of when those come out first. So if you want to get first dibs,
Right.
that's the best way to do that. Because I hear it every single time. Someone's like, oh, man, I want it. And it's very space is limited because they
Yeah.
do it in the theater. The tables are up on stage.
On
and
the
y'all
stage.
have seen the stage. There's only so many tables you can get up on that
Right.
stage.
Right.
So space is very limited
But
on
it's
that.
very immersive. You get to kind of be in the
It's
environment.
exclusive.
and-
Yeah, you feel very much like you're
It's
in
cool.
the know. Yeah, and it's you get wined and dined literally,
Right.
and and it's a cool night where you
Yeah.
get to enjoy it and have fun with it, interact with the characters,
Yeah.
and you know, odds are, you know, we're a small community. You might even know a few of the cast members and get to see them in a different light, painted
Right.
in a different light than their day job sometimes, and things like that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of going to community theater and stuff, is see someone like, isn't that the pastor of so and so church, or isn't that? And you're like, and you see them doing something
Yeah.
completely out of what you normally see them do, and that's
Yeah.
the beauty of community theater is you know, pastor by day, the villain in the play by night. You know what I mean? That's kind of neat to see. You know, people that you know and friends and respect.
Right.
You know, kind of let their hair down and play something different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what
A lot of
community
fun.
theater is. It's a chance to, and certainly if you're wanting to get your kids more involved and looking for opportunities for them to do stuff, please reach out and ask about the Kids Art Program. Again, go to the website, the Roswell Community Theater's website, roswelltheater.com, and do your research, and they've got all the information there about all their programs and things if you want to get involved and stuff like that too. So, but July 27th, that is the
Yep.
big thing we
Get
need
your
to put on your
tickets
radar. Come on out for the Curtains Rising, I guess reveal of the upcoming season at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Come, and because in between the play and everything, I believe the director and some of the planning stages of each of these productions will kind of give a synopsis description a little bit of a kind of a sneak peek of their stories
Right.
that they're going to be presenting to you
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah. And the directors know their play the best, so
Yeah. Well, that's why
they'll
they
tell you.
Well, and I know kind of how the sausage is made. It's the decisions that are made for these shows are just not we will. This is the board. They come. There's a lot of thought and planning.
Yeah.
Into what shows you're going to do for next. Like I'm pretty sure the board and those folks are already planning what shows are going to be for the next season, even though we're just unveiling this season.
Right.
They're probably already got a list, a soft list of what they're going to do for next year already here. Because I imagine there's a few that didn't quite make the cut for this year, but there's a real passion to do it. It's like, all right, we'll push it to 2026.
Right.
And so
sometimes that happens.
it does. And that's just it. The directors literally kind of make cases for their plays, right? It's like, I love this play. This is why. And then, of course, they got to sell it to the board. It's like, well, it's not going to be too expensive to produce. It's not, the logistical side of making that play. Because, we'd all love to do,
anything.
one play, but we are limited to money restraints and what you can do in a live theater and what you cannot do in a live theater.
Or what we can do on our stage.
Exactly. It's like we can't have an ensemble cast of 200 people on our
that's not
stage.
gonna fit,
You
not
couldn't
gonna
possibly,
It's there's 19 members in Murderous Night at the Museum, and it's a lot.
I was saying that's
of
one of your
people,
largest casts.
19.
Usually you guys have about 7 to 10 or
Normally, some musicals can get up there, 20, 30.
Yeah, because you need a lot of voices to
Right.
drown out, You know, in
Right.
musicals, you need multiple
But
people.
generally, not everybody's on stage at the same time. So, but in this one, we do have a couple of scenes where like everybody's on stage.
Where-
That
where-
can
where
get
space
tricky
will be-
how to block it.
Sure. And that's
Yeah.
why the rehearsals and everything is so important. It's not knowing your lines,
Right.
it's knowing where to stand and
Right.
and if you're literally a foot off on your mark, it can screw up the whole vibe of
throw
the
everything
entire
else
scene.
off,
Yeah,
right?
it
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
can. But that's the beauty of live theater because the other castmates see that and
Yep.
adapt and that's why you go see a show Friday night and then go see again Saturday. There might be differences in the show.
It's a different
Just
show,
because
yeah.
live theater happens and things happen. The picture fell off the wall when it was wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Someone stumbled up the steps when they didn't mean to. Someone said a line too early or forgot a line.
Or came on too early.
Yeah, all these things happen. And you just roll with the punches. And,
Right.
And make and that's where I think that's the fun part of being a part of community theater because through the because usually we'll say 2 months prior to curtains rising, that's when the heavy lifting of getting this play ready for showtime
Right.
happens.
Yeah.
And so it's a little boot camp like. And what I mean by that is they got a lot to get done in a month or 2 months
Short
time.
amount of time.
And so they spend a lot of time together. They're going to go through the emotional gauntlet together from the happiest of moments to the most frustrating of moments to
Right.
because that's just it. When you get creative people in a room and they're passionate about their creative, emotions fly. That's
Right.
what happens. And that's all for the betterment of the project. And so by the time they get to doing it in front of a live audience, they're kind of a well-oiled team, and so they can kind of sense when one's on their game and one's a little off
Right.
tonight, and
Yeah.
when needs support or when they blew this, I need to come in and support that or make that fit. And that's they build that
Right.
that bond and it's way different, but not all that different than military and police and stuff. When you get in the foxhole together, you tend to get closer. Even and trying times creates close bonds
Right.
and certainly not trying to compare live theater to first responder work, but they do put you emotionally in some of those same states, and so it creates some of those bonds and and to me that's what makes the play better, and that's what when you have a cast that knows each other
Yeah.
and kind of gets on. I mean, they don't have to love each other, but they at least know what each other's thinking and can kind of
Right.
fill in or be okay, I can maybe not do the part per se, but are
Right.
familiar with enough to. All right, I need to pivot to keep the
Right.
story
The story going.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
exactly. And so that's what makes live theater really cool. So come out to
I
the
agree.
so come out to the event on the 27th. Come have an amazing dinner at the
Yeah.
Liberty. Come get a sneak peek of the shows. Please bid generously and often on the silent auction and live auction stuff because all that money goes to support what the community theater. So we can talk about the 2033, the 22-33 season or whatever. when who knows? Maybe at that point we don't even do it in buildings anymore. We're just in floating bubbles, and who knows? But whatever it is, we want to have a community theater that's available to do that. So,
Right.
good deal.
Right.
What other? Is there any other information? Anything we want to share that I got us sidetracked on or didn't get a chance to
I don't
talk
think
about?
so. I think we've covered it pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It really
It's a lot
is.
of
And come out to the dinner on the 27th. Come meet.
It's gonna be
and it's a
great.
great chance to meet the directors and meet
Right.
some of the members of the community little theater and talk with them outside of getting ready for a show that night. I mean, there'll be
Yeah.
a couple getting ready that night because there is presentations and things going on. But a lot of the members are sitting in the audience waiting to be entertained and stuff. So some of the directors and
Yeah.
things, it's your chance to talk with them
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and talk with and who knows, say, man, I love that play, or I remember reading that as a kid. I would love to audition as for a part in this play, or
Right.
this is
Yeah.
your chance to talk about these kind of things and or learn more and say, hey, I've got a kid that I want to get them out of their shell. I want them. What can we do to help? And let's sit down and talk about that.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of it. And of course, if you've never been to the communal theater, it's a cool place. I mean, you get to go. Yes, if you've been back in the day when it was the Park Twin Theater and you go see movies, it's all melded into one theater now. It's
Right.
not two movie theaters like it.
Right. Like
Since
it
the
used to
Park
be.
Twin, but so like I think one section is actually the theater part still,
Right.
and then the other side's office spaces and
Dressing room, green
dressing
room,
rooms, and storage for copious amounts of costumes and set things, which to me is the cool part of it. To me, that's like the treasure within the treasure.
Treasure trove.
Yeah, it's like the community theater and what they do is the mainstay, but by default you're a purveyor of history.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just by default, because people donate old uniforms, old clothing, old furniture, things that are antiques that are still serviceable because they got to sit on a stage. Maybe don't put them in your house for company, but they sure work great when you're doing a 40s period movie or play, and it's kind of hard to when you're sitting on IKEA furniture when you're trying to pretend you're in the 40s. You know what I mean? And so that's why. But what happens is this is authentic stuff, and so you've got vases and just knickknacks and clothing, that were from these era periods. I mean, I've gone back and seen military uniforms. Some of that stuff dates back to World War II.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is history.
Actually, we have a World War I helmet.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's history.
Yeah.
I
can't say that we've ever actually used it on stage. We need to
find a play that
I'm going to put it in Explorers Club. It's going to be hanging on the wall.
Hey, maybe that's a.
But even I probably can't because it's 1800.
Oh yeah, that would work. Maybe one went in the future, like a time machine. But maybe that's the game for this year.
Yeah.
You know how
how much of this stuff can we use?
you know how like when they do like the improv stuff and they say, hey, it's sometime of the night you got to work in the word Aloysius or whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe we do this. All right. Every director, somewhere in your play, you've got to work in one of these items into the set somewhere, somehow, some way. Maybe that'd be a fun little side thing for them. And you just pick couple of the weirdest, most unique things that are back there, and so throughout and maybe that's the Easter egg for everyone else. When you come out to the play, find the find the item. We can turn this whole thing into a game here. So, but again, that's what community theater is. It's fun, and by the way, if you're looking for a chance to broaden your horizons and your social circles a little bit, I invite you to audition for some of these plays or come out to when they have another improv night or another obviously tentpole play, but even when it's some of the side stuff, some of the monthly events or quarterly events that always happen at the community theater, please come out to these and get involved and meet some people. And who knows, maybe you're the next star of the next play. Maybe you're the star of the Explorers. Maybe it's you up there with the pot on your head or whatever doing the thing. That's what's cool about
Painted blue.
Yeah. It's like when you say Explorers, for some reason, and this is maybe my age, I instantly go to the old late 70s, early 80s movie Time Bandits. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Where it was a bunch of little people that would like travel through time.
Oh.
But they were all dressed like from different, like one's dressed up almost like a World War I pilot was dressed up, and they're costumed from different eras and stuff.
Okay.
So when I hear the Explorers, in my head I've got like guys in like these and the
think older.
Yeah, some guy with a top hat and a monocle eyepiece. Yeah, I mean, they're all British and they're all very gentlemanly. but they all one looks like kind of like he's been hanging out in the North Pole or something. Kind of got like a big parka. Like there's a like the Village People of these people in my head.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's nothing like that, but that's what I envision. So, some guy with a leather helmet or a leather. Pilot helmet, something like that.
Yeah.
One in every crowd there. But anyway, come out July 27th at the Liberty is the Curtains Rising event. You can get your tickets right now at the Communal Theater's website, Roswell Theater, spell theater, THERE.com, or you can get tickets for the Curtains Rising event at thelibertyinc.com. You can also check out their upcoming shows and events too and get tickets there. By the way, you can learn about becoming a member at the Liberty while you're there too. But also note, all these concerts that they have there, you do not have to be a member to go to those. You just have you can get tickets on the website. Now, if you want to go to some of their exclusive events, like they'll have like a tasting night or Halloween or holiday party.
Right.
Those are members only.
Right.
But when they do their country concerts or various shows, they're open to anybody. So thelibertyinc.com. Sorry, I had hiccups there. I was fighting through it. thelibertyinc.com. You can go and get tickets for the Curtains Rising event here. Again, it's July 27th, 6:30 p.m. Doors open at the Liberty. Get your tickets. Come get the sneak preview of the upcoming season for the Roswell Communal Theater. Come out and bid on some great auction items. And who knows? maybe you just found your next passion or hobby or interest for the rest of your life, for the next couple of years at least.
Yeah,
Good deal.
for sure.
Well, as always, appreciate the visit, and
Thank you.
may give them a hard time for all the people that were supposed to be with
That
you
we're supposed to
today,
be here
and
that didn't show
that's
up.
right. Give them a hard time.
Oh, we should probably mention our sponsors real quick.
Yes,
if we
please
could
do.
that.
Please do.
So, of course, we have the Liberty, who has partnered with us.
Awesome.
And so we also have Vogel Limited, B.A. Coots, Swickard Agency, Berkshire Hathaway, Anderson Bethany, Squirrel Marketing, Taylor and Associates. I know I'm forgetting somebody.
You always do.
I always do.
But a lot of these names you hear time and time again are not only for the communal theater, but other service organizations within our community as well, them stepping up and doing that stuff. So it's great to see that they're partnering again. And I know some of these sponsors in the past, not only monetarily, but, donating of items for sets and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I know,
yeah.
I know, like Anderson Bethany.
Oh, yeah.
Because most people don't have things like coffins laying around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you need some of those types of things for a play, an urn or something like that, they tend to have a few of those laying around to borrow or use for something.
Yeah. Well, I think last year we borrowed a hearse or something.
Yeah.
From
See, that's really cool. Or like they'll donate like I know in the past, like some of the Christmas trees and things used for, I think Berkshire Hathaway was donating the monies for all that kind of stuff.
They bought
these supporters
trees,
go above and beyond just cutting a check every year. They physically get involved with the with the goings and comings of the community little theater. So we're very thankful for these.
Yep. So thanks to our sponsors, we appreciate all of them.
Absolutely.
And
You're the reason the doors
I can't
keep
remember
opening.
that other one, but
We'll get it. By the time we come in next time, we'll have
Right.
it. And here's the thing: these organizations don't do it for the recognition. They do
Yeah.
it because they love what the theater represents and love the people that are involved with it, and they
Right.
want to support that. And that's we love to thank them and get them as public recognition as much. But I can guarantee to each company person there, none of them are doing it for the shout out. They're doing it because they have a passion for the product.
Right.
So that's what it is. So thank you to our sponsors. Come on out, see it for yourself. Come have an amazing meal with us at the Liberty on the 27th. Come.
Southwest Printers.
Southwest Printers. Thank you.
Knew it would come to me.
There
Sorry.
you go. And we're glad we had before the end of the thing. There.
Sorry.
I imagine they do quite a bit too as
They
printers.
do. They help us a lot.
They probably do everything from helping out with from the programs to any screen printing or T-shirts and that kind of stuff needs. And so 'cause whenever you have an event and you invite people to it, there's a lot of printing needs.
There's a lot of printing needs.
Just from event night to promotional stuff. So, but big thank you to them. But thank you as always, Lithium. We'll see you next time. And we'll get people, we'll get you back in as we get closer to opening night for the first show of the
play.
season, Murderous Night at the Museum. Invite people to come out. We'll get maybe some of the cast in to come in and do,
That'd be great.
Yeah, and have some fun and do what we do.
I am in the cast.
Are you in the cast on this one?
I am in the cast.
Who's our director for this one?
So our director is Dan Coleman. It's his debut directorship.
His debut directorship.
Yeah. So as a full director, and he's doing a great job. It's going to be wonderful.
So is Dan just directing?
He's
not
just
doing a
directing.
dual role, director and serves the, because sometimes, not often,
Sometimes
but
that happens.
sometimes it does happen where you have to wear multiple hats in theater. It does happen.
As of right now, no, that's not happening, but it could.
Good deal, but
you never know.
And and you said this is one of your larger casts on this.
It is.
one
There's
here.
19 of us.
19. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
going to be cool.
A lot.
Well, I imagine it makes sense because if the scene is something like the Smithsonian Museum or something like that, you've got to. That's a big world. You got to create on that stage. And a museum is full of larger than life artifacts.
Right.
and
We
things,
do
you know
have
what I
a
mean?
full-size sarcophagus.
Wow.
Yes, it's great.
Golly.
Yeah.
Any skeletons or bones or
I
anything?
can't give away any secrets.
Oh, have to kill me. I understand.
You'll have to come see it.
Come
Mike.
see it for yourself. Come, but definitely. And again, August 16th is opening night there for that. Again, RoswellTheater.com. You can get your tickets for all of these shows that we're talking about for the upcoming season and everything else, and kind of get a sneak peek. And then come out 27th. Come grub down on some delicious eats. Come bid on some awesome silent auction and auction items, and come see what's in store for the 2024-2025 season at the Roswell Community Theater.
Yep.
Good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am. And we'll see you guys next time. We got to get Dan in here in the next week or two to get him talking about his play, too.
Yeah.
So, good deal. All right, it is 8:54. Man, time is flying. It's almost 9 o'clock already. What happened? Let's do this. Let's pause for Lou Dobbs and a quick commercial break before news. Don't go away.
August 2nd through January 12th in the Roswell Museum's Donald B. Anderson Gallery. An artist talk is also scheduled for Friday, August 2nd at 5:30 p.m., followed by a reception in the gallery. The Roswell Museum celebrates the career of trailblazing artist Jane Abrams in this exhibition that showcases the artist's painting, printmaking, and sculpture from 1968 to the present. A deadly crash Sunday in Roswell. It happened when a pedestrian tried to cross Main Street near downtown. Now the driver that struck and killed 49-year-old Nancy Cairo Chavez is facing a charge of vehicular homicide and DWI. Cairo Chavez reportedly lived about a block from the crash scene. Police say the driver, 25-year-old Santiago Hernandez, continued down Main Street but was spotted by an officer and was stopped about 2 miles away, where he failed field sobriety and breath tests. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
So your trees are turning yellow. You scratch your head and think to yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is Shirley from Roswell Seed. If Jim were here, he'd tell you all about something he called monkey blood. It's a powder that turns a deep red when you mix it with water. You pour it on the ground under your tree's drip line, and in a few weeks, they'll be healthy and green once again.
So when things aren't green, just ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do? Then head down to Roswell Seed Company and find out.
Farm and Ranch Candle Company is now open in Roswell. Farm and Ranch Candle Company is the home of the best smells in Roswell. Slow, clean-burning candles with no paraffin, low soot, no nonsense. You can make your own candles at the Walk-In Candle Bar and visit the Mega Station to stock up on Trump tumblers, T-shirts, and more. Plus bridal and baby shower, handcrafted gifts, handmade steel furniture, and more. And a portion of sales goes to the Working Ranch Cowboy Association. Farm and Ranch Candle Company, now open at 117 East 2nd in Roswell, where Patriots shop.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
It's 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The director of the Secret Service is stepping down from her job following the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. Kimberly Cheadle had served as Secret Service Director since August 2022. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Cheadle made the right decision.
Our reaction, the immediate reaction to her resignation, is that it is overdue. She should have done this at least a week ago. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that she has heeded the call of both Republicans and Democrats.
Yesterday, Cheadle was grilled by the House Oversight Committee, with several members calling for her resignation. A growing list of leading Democrats on Capitol Hill is throwing their support behind Vice President Harris in her bid for the party's presidential nomination.
House Democratic Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar and Democratic Whip Catherine Clark were quick to voice their support for Harris, as did former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. By midday Monday, Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin had become the highest-ranking Senate Democrat to endorse Harris, who also enjoys the support of President Biden. Others in the party say the process should remain open up until the Democrat convention next month. Bob Agnew reporting.
President Biden says he's determined to get as much done as he possibly can in his final 6 months in the White House. Speaking by phone to staffers at campaign headquarters, Mr. Biden says he plans to work hard.
The name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning.
White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients urged aides during a staff meeting yesterday to keep their heads down and remain focused on the work that remains. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 47 points. More on .com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
It's a new law that has a lot of people upset.
Colombia's President Gustavo Petro has signed a bill banning bullfights in that South American country, further reducing the list of nations where that tradition is still legal. The ban was approved by Colombia's Congress in May, and that followed months of heated debates. The move will completely ban bullfights across that nation by 2027. Bullfighting aficionados say they will challenge the law in Colombia's constitutional court. Jason Walker reporting.
The British government says it'll end the controversial use of a barge to house asylum seekers off the south coast of England. The Labour government said today it'll save $26 million next year by not using the Bibby Stockholm as it overhauls its immigration system. News and analysis at townhall.com. A bipartisan House task force has been launched to investigate the July 13th Trump rally shooting.
House Speaker Mike Johnson and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries announced Tuesday the creation of a bipartisan House task force to investigate the Trump assassination attempt. The two congressional leaders said in a joint statement, quote, "The security failures that allowed an assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life are shocking. In response to bipartisan demands for answers, we are announcing a House task force made up of 7 Republicans and 6 Democrats to thoroughly investigate the matter." The statement also said the task force will make recommendations for reform to relevant government agencies. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
At least 157 people have been killed in mudslides in a remote part of Ethiopia that's been hit with heavy rainfall. Landslides are common during Ethiopia's rainy season, which started in July and is expected to last until mid-September. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace in the air notes.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your Tuesday's going well. Going warm up progressively as the week goes on.
Well and swell.
Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to hit like 91 today, but by the weekend we're back near 100.
Gearing up for the start of the Paris Olympics in just a couple of days.
Friday is opening ceremony, right?
Friday. There's a couple things that stand out about this year's game. First of all, have you seen the logo?
I have, I guess, but
year?
I haven't really paid attention, to be honest.
It came out 4 years ago when they announced that Paris was the site of the next games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know what they're going for. It's the bowl and the torch in a golden circle.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up the logo, and I'll try to post it over on the brand Facebook page, tell me this does not look like... It just went away. Hang on.
Only when you need it.
Tell me this doesn't look like a Karen head.
Karen head?
Karen, like Kate from John and Kate Plus 8.
Oh.
I want to speak to your manager. Doesn't that look like a woman's haircut?
I can see with the lips, like the hairstyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks so much like a woman's head that's asking to speak to my manager. I can't get past that.
I can see a bob haircut. Yes.
Yeah, very much a bob haircut. And the bowl that they set for like the torch, it just looks like a set of lips.
Yep.
So it's this logo is asking to speak to my manager.
I know what it is.
What is it?
So, as they've mentioned on KOB4,
Mm-hmm.
oh shoot, her name just went right out of my head. The anchor lady on Channel 4. What is her name?
Is it Issa Geary?
No, I keep forgetting her name. But anyway, her cousin is Mary Lou Retton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, she's got that's the news anchor's haircut. So I think they just used her face as the logo for the Olympics since her cousins carry Mary Lou Retton. Oh shoot, what is her? I keep forgetting her name, but she's the main anchor on like the 5 o'clock news on Channel 4.
I'm trying to find the new sports for this year because I've heard kiteboarding and kayak cross.
Kiteboarding?
Kiteboarding.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
You surf on a kite?
I think it's like with you're actually like on like a thing that you're up in the. I don't know.
Like you're on a kite, like parasailing with a kite. What is kiteboarding?
Okay, so it looks like basically surfing, but you got a kite or a
so surfing in the water, but using a kite to propel you with air.
And that's propelling you. Yeah, it looks really interesting. From
Sounds
what I'm
dangerous.
Seeing. It's just like a guy with like a parachute, and he's being pulled along.
So is he in the air? Or is he on the water?
He's on the water.
Okay.
I'd imagine this has the potential to go airborne.
I'm sure you could probably see stunts and tricks with the air, right? Yeah.
Kayak cross is the other one, which I'm guessing that's just like a cross-country kayak thing.
Yeah.
But the big one, I found out a couple of days ago, breakdancing. They're adding breakdancing to this year's Olympics.
Do you have to bring your own cardboard box?
I think so. It's just called breaking is what it is. But I'm genuinely intrigued.
I want to see the Team USA breaking uniform.
I want to see who's going to go. Let's dust off Turbo and Ozone.
I hope so. I hope to God we get like the OGs from the 80s rolling up in there.
But you know that somewhere there's like those old school beatboxers from back in the day are like, "Our time is coming. It's almost all time."
I hope the stage literally has one of those giant 80s beatboxes with the dual tape deck.
Yeah, the ghetto blasters.
Yes. And then you got the cardboard box sitting on the ground. Like you unfold the cardboard box out, lay it on the ground.
Biz
and then
Markie comes walking out on stage.
Right. To start doing your windmilling and worming and all that good stuff.
Because you know there's going to be a lot of this. Like, when you're about to jump into the circle and you're like, thrust it. There's going to be a whole lot. I'm wondering, are they going to be doing group breakdancing or is it individual? Because I've seen figure skating. I've seen some of the insane things that figure skaters can do. Sure. I cannot wait to see what insanity comes from Olympic breakdancing.
Well, and that's where I'm like wondering, like, Like, I haven't followed the breaking game in the last 20, 30 years.
No?
So I don't know. Are they still doing windmills and worms, or are we up to like some advanced moves or something? What is the evolution of breaking since the 1980s when it was actually relevant?
I have seen a little bit in the last like half decade, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Just because groups like the Jabberwockies, people like that, they kind of took the breakdancing style and kind of like modernized it a little bit. A lot of it, I think, is like choreographed, like box dancing.
Yeah, now it's turned into like, bring it. Oh, it's brought in.
Oh, it already been brought in.
Bring it on. Oh, it's brought in.
But the other curiosity is, I'm sure that Team USA is going to bring some pretty strong, game. But you can't imagine that like Israel has a real strong breakdancing scene, or like Latvia.
Know. Maybe they're in there breaking fools. You never know.
The Norse up there just throwing down cardboard and
I feel like there's some basement cellar in Russia where there's just a bunch of those guys that they're wrestle bears and stuff.
At
breakdancing.
We break. If he breaks, he breaks.
All those videos, those Russians in the woods blowing things up and
and then there's just a couple of beat boys over in the corner just
wrestling bears and the various things they do over there. Yeah, there's a couple guys just spinning on a cardboard box.
All for one half pint of vodka.
Yeah, exactly. Some borscht and some vodka. Oh man!
Zimbabwe.
I am legit wanting to watch that. I do want to see it. I'm also hoping too. It is kind of like a dance battle. Like they line the teams up on the side. They're each hyping each other, and then they kind of and then like some bust windmill. Then the whole crowd goes that happens.
Break yourself, fool!
I want to see all of that in the Olympics.
This is. It's sort of, my interest was sort of piqued when skateboarding became a thing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in maybe my adult life that I've been genuinely interested in a sport besides curling.
Yeah.
Besides curling, I will tune in for curling. But
so now my question is, so do you think like 20, 30 years from now, they're going to enter like water bottle flipping as one of the...
No, here's what it is. I'm
like an
already
Olympic
expecting that with not even 20, 30 years, within the next probably 2 Olympics, we're going to have competitive esports at the Olympics. I would reckon we're going to have gaming.
Oh yeah, that's a matter of time. I know that. But I've legit like when people flip the water bottle, it's like I think like in 20 years from now that's going to be an Olympic, at least a not a sport, but an Olympic demonstration or whatever they call it for 20 years before it's an actual sport.
If they ever bring the Olympics back or bring it to Philadelphia, and they put Flip Cup into the Olympics, we could actually have Flipadelphia.
So, and do you think it'll be beer pong teams too?
Oh, I hope. At this point, let's X Games up our Olympiad. I get it, Regal, and we're trying to be like proper. And let's throw it out the window. We're trying to get ratings here.
That's right.
We're trying to pop a rating.
I know this is technically not breakdancing, but if they kid and play it in the Olympics, how awesome would that be?
The foot tap dance.
I know that's technically hip hop, not breaking, but homage.
Oh yeah,
throw it out there.
Paying homage.
Throw it out there. Throw it out there.
Because if you have singles figure skating, you have team figure skating. I got to imagine they're going to have couples breaking.
Matter of factly, if I was a break dancer Olympian, I would completely go retro. I would go back and grow my hair from the 80s in some Philly fashion of some way, shape, or form. Yeah, I would completely do all that because that's what you should do.
I would pay very good money to see Mike Winters in a Jerry curl.
If I could, I would. I don't have the ability. I'm sorry.
3 times, baby. Psh, psh, psh.
Yeah, I would. If I could, I would. Trust me, but I don't have the follicle ability.
Mike out there letting his soul glow.
I would completely at least don a Bob Ross fro if I could. I can't. So I would kill for something like that. So,
although I got to imagine with your current state of hair,
or lack thereof,
your head spins. I mean, they've got to be just like non-compared. Like you can't compare.
I don't know, but I'd have to lube up or something.
Yeah, get a little graphite on there.
I don't want to get carpet burn on my head or cardboard.
You
burn.
raced Pinewood Derby cars. You know what to do. A little graphite up there and just. He just hit 37 spins.
He just started fire on the floor. All that friction. All right, I guess I should get the hour started.
Yes, probably.
Although I'm excited for breakdancing.
I'm very excited. We might have to cut to it when it's actually happening.
I just want to see what's
we now
going
go
on.
live to Paris for the break-in invitational.
Yeah, and when is that slap fighting going to enter, too?
Oh, right?
Yeah, that's not slap fighting. I don't know why I stopped to watch it,
because
but I did.
It's the most, like, base level excitement. Like, you're just watching two dudes slap the bejesus out of each other.
I'm completely revolted by it, but shockingly can't stop watching it at the same time. Yeah, it's train wreck all over again. So I just don't get it. It's well, and I think part of what I have, it's not that people do it. God bless you. I have a hard time understanding who desires to be in this. Like, do they look at this and say, that looks fun to me? I want to do that. I can't wrap my head around people that want to participate.
I'm waiting for, I'm a third generation slap fighter. Yeah. My granddad did it before I did. My dad like him. So I'm following into the legacy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it all day. You're going to do it. I'll watch it. Mm-hmm. But why do you want to do it? I can't wrap my head around that.
I don't understand.
I mean, there's so many ways to prove you're tough than this.
Mm-hmm. Their roster pictures are just one giant cheek.
Yeah. And then the talcum powder makes it all look worse. Or whatever they're using to chalk up.
It's literally, it's modern day watch lions eat Christians.
Yeah.
We're at the Coliseum. We're watching,
but those people got caught or whatever. They're, they got put in there. Like someone made them go be in there.
Yeah, that's true.
These people have signed up willingly to do this. And I don't understand what in the id there makes them say, yeah, this seems fun to me. Or I'm that desperate that this is what I'm going to do with my life.
Pride.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm just like, there's so many. You could sell ice cream out of a truck. That's way better than letting people punch you.
So much less swelling.
I don't get it. Anyway, we do have the folks from the Chaves County Health Council going to join us here in just a bit. Of course, we do have the Health Expo coming up here next month, August 24th. So now is the time to start reserving booths, sponsorships, and of course, we'll learn you about what's on tap for this year's fair, too.
Yep.
So that's coming up in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business updates and whatever else you can come up with for today's show. But first, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like the overall chances for wet weather are going to start to ease across our area for the next few days, holding on to some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances for today. Ample sunshine coming into our highs area-wide, ranging from the upper 80s to the low 90s. Clear out there tonight, our low right around 65, and we are looking dry here Wednesday and Thursday. Abundant sunshine. Highs are right around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76% with winds out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Sunny today and a high of 91 degrees expected with winds out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 65 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny and 96 for a high. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, hot with a high of 98. Winds out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Friday, sunny and a high of 98 degrees. Excuse me, hiccups. And then for the weekend, sunny, 97 Saturday. Sunny, 100 for a high on Sunday. And then Monday, more of the same, 100. They're talking for highs here. So no talk of rain for at least the rest of this week. So we'll see. Of course, it is New Mexico. Next, tomorrow we could get a whole new weather forecast. Like, oh, no, rain's back on the table. That's kind of what we get. But as of right now, no talk of rain for at least the rest of this week. And it's going to get progressively warmer as the week goes on here. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9. We're going to take about a 2-minute break, and then we'll talk with the folks from the Chaves County Health Council on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available. Plus trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts. Presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales New Mexico Lodgers Tax.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort.
This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Health Council, Carrie Moore and Jennifer Smith back with us. Good morning, ladies. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning. Good.
Good deal. Well, it is the busy time. I mean, you guys are always busy at the Health Council. Year-round, there's stuff going on. For folks not familiar, Chaves County Health Council is kind of they are there to be a resource for all things, not just healthcare, really just community-related stuff. So they are, the Health Council is the ones that monitor and run the 211 health hotline. If you have any questions regarding healthcare, not emergency, if you got a broken arm or something, go call 911, whatever, do that. But if you're new to town and looking for doctors, or if you're looking for resources for your family, or if you just want information about just anything from stuff at the Department of Health to what's going on at the at the Wool Bowl on Saturday. It's kind of a little bit of everything there. So that's it. And so the Health Council runs that. But one of the other big things that the Health Council runs that kind of the public knows about is the annual Health Expo here in August, which we're about a month away, just a hair over a month away from this year's event too. When they're not doing that stuff too, they're also working with other health care, like our various hospitals and other healthcare institutions, working on getting speakers and resources to help educate them on various things. Like if there's like an autism expert that comes in, hey, our doctors can meet with them and get, that's the kind of stuff you guys also do there too. So that's kind of in a nutshell what the Health Council does, is meetings and exposing things to the public for opportunities and stuff. So did I miss anything on that, or did I goof it up at all?
Oh, you goofed it up. You goofed it up bad.
Awesome.
But we'll let you keep it.
Well, I'm good at that.
You can own that, baby.
But we are coming up this time again for the Health Expo here, and so for this year, is it going to look just like other years, or we've got more and more, or different? Or is it just kind of you come and you get your health care, the things you expect to do at Health Expo will be happening this year at Health Expo.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be pretty similar. We got a few changes, but they're good.
Yeah, this is your opportunity. If you've never been to one, it happens. This year will be August 24th. It'll be at the Convention and Civic Center, and it's usually the morning. This one goes from 8 to noon, and so during that morning you could come, and there will be Boys and Girls Club's going to start kind of kick the morning off with their bubble run and all that, which you can sign up now. We'll tell you how to do that here in just a bit, but do that. And then around 8 o'clock, the expo will start, and they come for free screenings. There'll be healthcare providers doing free screenings, checkups. Things could be various stuff from glucose to mammograms to just blood pressure checks and things. There's other businesses and entities that offer services and products that might help. Some are related to healthcare, some are, loosely related to healthcare. Mental
It's
health.
all ultimately related to healthcare. So it might be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. I mean, it's
Exactly.
healthcare because it encompasses the entire body and everything around it.
Well, and
so.
that's just it. As we starting to learn a little bit more about bodies and health and things, everything's connected, and so the mental health is just as important as going to see your doctor for tonsillitis or something like that, and that's treated that way. I mean, when you look just even like dentistry,
I was
like
gonna say, I don't care what it is. Eyes and teeth are part of your regular body. It should be included in your regular health insurance.
And it's in the last 20 years from now, they're kind of start finally saying, oh, yeah, that's healthcare too. It's like, just because you don't go to, a family practice doctor initially to get it looked at doesn't make it a healthcare issue. So that's the kind of stuff, if you're wanting to get, information about that, sign up for resources and things. But see, I would even, this is where I say go even mental health, because it's things like, even if it's for an escape getaway kind of, the leisure type, hey, you want a hot tub, things. And I know that's kind of commercial, but to me, I feel a lot better when I have amenities, and you know what I mean. My mental health is a lot better when I have nice things. I'm just saying that's part of mental health for me.
And probably about 85% of the rest of the world.
But that's what the health.
How old are you? You're talking like a boomer.
I'm boomer adjacent. I'm Gen Xer, but I'm
We don't have those kind of luxuries. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm the Gen X. I'm the latchkey kid. They totally turn out, come back, and the street lights on, and don't get in vans with
right there with you.
It's like every summer there was a van and we didn't get in it.
And nobody had to tell us not to get in it.
That's right. That was our lesson. Street light comes on. If a guy pulls up in a van, don't get in it. But getting back on track here, we would love to get folks. First off, we want to put on your calendars, make it a priority to come. It will be after school starts this year, which is, just because how school, but there will be backpacks, the school supplies stuff, because I figure about that time, I'm going to say at least 30% of your kids' school supplies have been broken or lost already by that time.
Yeah, it won't hurt to get an extra backpack and extra school supplies.
Even if they didn't broken them yet, put it in the closet, and when they come home and, Mom, my pencil's gone, or whatever, all right, let's get to the closet and get you some more.
Yeah, they might need it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and there's a lot of kids who just can't get their supplies right before school starts.
Absolutely.
I mean, because a lot of times they're already wiped out and you just can't get to it. Or you're having to buy everything else that goes with it. I mean, the elementary schools still have uniforms. So you have to do that. Middle school, you have to buy their uniforms.
And even when you don't have to buy uniforms, you're still buying new clothing, new shoes, getting the haircuts, doing all the back to school, getting ready stuff that let's face it, it puts a big burden on families. And, because, if you're already on a budget and now we're doing something that blows the budget, that's going to, because, and so that's where, let this help you out a little bit.
Yeah, so there's no reason to stress just because it's 3 weeks after school starts. I mean, it's okay. Half the time, nobody has all their supplies to start with because we don't know what's on those lists until that first day anyway.
And my wife being a teacher, like what's on the list and what they actually need isn't, because that's a very...
It's not the same.
Broad blanket list, and the teacher's like, yeah, that's great. I don't need this. I need this. You know what I mean? So then you got that. Okay, here's what you got. Now here's what you really got to get.
Yeah, and then as a parent, you're like, well, I just bought all this. Now I have to go buy that.
But they want to have these lists out available in all the stores and stuff. And it's like, well, we got to.
Like, who puts those lists together?
Be honest, I think it's some person that probably not even in a classroom, but that's another.
Probably.
That's another story for another time. But so the Health Expo, even though it is technically after the start of school this year, will incorporate all the back to school stuff that we're normally that you're normally accustomed to with the health fair here. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. So don't worry if so if you need to, maybe just get enough to get through the first week or two. And then come and we'll get the rest of it there at the
Renew Health is going to be bringing 200 backpacks.
Good deal.
We'll have a whole lot more.
And that's kind of a requirement you make for all your vendors and things. They say, hey, as part of your cost for coming here, you need to donate some school supplies so we can give this to the kids and the families that come in.
Yeah, and we spread it out all across Chaves County. So after we get done here, then it'll go down to the valley so that Dexter, Haven, and Lake Arthur can have access to them
Excellent.
down there as well.
Excellent. Of course, if you're living in Dexter Hagerman, you're more than welcome to come up to the health fair too and grab it too and visit if you want to.
I highly encourage you.
I highly recommend you do it. Come on down and get it yourself. But if not, they'll bring it to you later. But you know what I mean. If you want to get it firsthand.
Along with a lot of other goodies.
Yeah. Actually, real quick before I kind of ask you what some of the things are on tap here. Now is the time if you are wishing to be a vendor or part, or is it full too?
We're done.
Dang!
We're
Usually
done.
Usually you were ready for more. Sorry, scratch that.
We're
They're full.
done.
All we gotta do is show up now. So,
Yep.
all right. So scratch that. What's some of the features for this year's fair that we want to highlight?
This year we are doing mammograms with Rio Pecos OBGYNs. So they'll be there scheduling mammograms.
Okay. Now that's usually one you have to pre-register for, right? Or can you do it on spot? Okay.
Not this year. This year we weren't able to get the mammogram bus.
Okay.
We had a prior commitment, and so we got Rio Pecos to do the mammograms.
So their procedure's a little bit different.
Yeah, they're going to be scheduling the mammograms as they come in, and then they'll go in a different day for their free mammogram.
Okay, so you can get it scheduled that day. So come in and get it, and they'll do it for free, whenever it works availability for everybody. But you can get it scheduled, get it locked in, and then visit Rio Pecos on your scheduled day to get your mammogram.
Yeah, and we're doing more this year.
Good. So please sign up for this, please. And I know with mammogram technology, a lot has been advanced in that over the last 10, 15 years. And so they're way better at doing it. And so we're now getting into a point, and I think it's starting to come out where, when these scanners are coming out, they're getting a lot of what we call false positives because those imaging is so much better on these, and they're seeing things. And quite frankly, they're just not used to seeing it before because they never had a machine that could see it. And then they're seeing it's like, ooh, is that something? And then most of the time they're like, oh, no, that's normal. But we're now in a phase because that some people get a little nervous because doctors are saying, hey, we saw something. 9 times out of 10, it's nothing. So please don't be alarmed about that kind of stuff. It's just we've got better machines now, and we're still kind of learning the full scope of what they're capable of sometimes and some of the technology here. So
early detection is the key to this.
Absolutely. When it comes to breast cancer, to be honest, breast cancer is a very, very, very treatable cancer.
Yes.
It's one of the easier ones to treat.
Especially
it's caught early. If it's late stages, then it's tough. But early stages, especially breast, some other cancers are more aggressive than others, but breast cancer is one of those ones. Generally, there's always a strain but generally they're pretty slower growing cancers there. But anyway, it's getting the mammogram fixes that really because they can, especially with the equipment they have now, they can detect it so much earlier, and really it's not as nearly the invasive thing that what a cancer diagnosis can be. If they catch it that early enough, it's almost like an in and out visit. It can be.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, it can be. So that's why, please get that mammogram scheduled, even though you're kind of like, I don't want to do it. I know, because you get it, it's uncomfortable, and let's face it, no one likes getting doctor procedures. No one lines up and can't wait. Colonoscopy, sign me up, boys. No one's running to the doctors for these things. So
it's weird, it's uncomfortable, but it wasn't horrible.
It's not that bad.
Exactly, that's the thing. Once you're done, you're like, oh, that wasn't that big. Like when I had my first colonoscopy, I was, you hype it all up in your head. And I got done, and I was like, I woke up like happy, like I don't know what they put in that anesthesia, but I had like the best night's sleep of my life, man. I was like, all right, good, gonna be a good day, Bob. I'm hungry. Let's go eat. It was, but anyway, we all hype it up in over our heads. Same with the mammogram. So please, if you have not had a mammogram in a while, and you need resources, please, when you come to the Health Expo, visit the Rio Pecos booth out there. Sign up for the mammogram.
And you don't have to have insurance. If you don't have insurance, it's fine. We'll pay for your mammogram. If you have insurance, then that's great.
Then we're going to help out. Then we'll let them. But money is not the hurdle here.
Yeah.
It's about your health. That's what this health expo, this health fair is all about. It's getting you in touch with healthcare resources. Money is, we get it. If we all had plenty of money, we wouldn't need one of these. We go to the doctor ourselves. But there's a lot of resources, a lot of things available to people. If you need these things, please take them. I know there's some people that this is their healthcare. They come every year to get their blood pressure checked and get everything. And I highly recommend you try to get some healthcare. But God bless you for at least doing this. Please come out and do this and stay on top of that and to be honest, if you're looking for healthcare resources, there'll be people at the Health Expo that can get you help on that kind of stuff and get you in touch with the people. That's kind of what 211 does. You don't have to wait till the Health Expo, by the way. You can call 211 and I don't know. Joanne's not here. I guess she'll be answering if you call right now.
It'll be Carrie and Emily.
Okay. Well, it won't be Carrie. She's busy right at the moment. But definitely utilize that and get that resource out. By the way, speaking of, before we keep going on, as far as the Health Council, you guys meet probably a lot more now, but you guys meet every month. Outside of getting ready for Health Expo here, but you guys are always looking for more volunteers, more people to be a part of the council, to serve in various ways. Of course, Carrie's now, you've been named the head person in charge here, and you're kind of the director here.
The director for the Health Council.
For the Health Council now, so congratulations or condolences. I'm not sure how that all works, but
thank you, and thank you.
But and so always looking for more people to get involved and work with the council, and not only keeping and doing the tent pole things that the council does, but incorporate new ideas, because you guys are always looking, hey, where else can we get involved and help? Where else can we partner up with or attach to find resources for people? And so if you've got some of those ideas or want to contribute to that, come on to the next meeting.
We meet the second Wednesday of every month, and you can find information about that on our website.
Yeah.
It's ChavezCountyHC.org.
Yep. And of course, the Health Council does have a Facebook page too. You can I highly recommend you like and follow that. If you have any questions about anything Health Council related, whether it's the expo here or next meeting or any of that, you can always shoot a message there, and one of the members will get back to you as soon as humanly possible there. But please mark on your calendars the 24th of August. That is this year's Health Expo from 8 to noon. Prior, and again, and I imagine as we get a little closer, we'll get probably the Boys and Girls Club folks in here too to kind of promote this is a big fundraising event for that. So the Health Expo weekend or Saturday kind of kicks off with this year. It's a bubble run, fun runs they do each year.
Yes. Everybody needs to sign up for the bubble run.
Yeah.
If you want a shirt, a guaranteed shirt, you need to sign up before August 1st.
Okay, so you got about a week and change here to get signed up.
You can find information on the Boys and Girls Club of Chavez and Lincoln County Facebook page.
Excellent.
Or on our website as well. There's a direct link over to it.
Oh, they'll say, you could you share it there, and you'll find a link too on the Facebook page as well. You can just click on that, and it'll take you for the bubble run or for the if you have questions about the Health Expo here.
Yeah. So we're doing the bubble run again. So this will be the second time trying to do the bubble run.
Okay.
Last year didn't quite go the way it was supposed to go. Logistics is the nightmare sometimes.
Well, that happens. And sometimes weather doesn't work in your favor, and
there should be more bubbles this year.
Good.
So this year we were able to get some sponsors for the Boys and Girls Club to purchase their own bubble machines.
Oh, good. So we're going to have a cornucopia of bubbles this time.
Yeah, not just me out there blowing on my little wand.
I'm blowing as fast again.
Like, dang it, guys, come on.
It's like, you get the big one you can do this with.
I tried those. I played with that with the grandbabies. It didn't all work out.
Everyone, you know what? Everyone seems to be amazing at those things except me. I'm like that guy, and I'm like, oh, look at how. And then I tried. It's like, oh, why does mine suck? And everyone else is good, There
has to be a trick to it.
And then, or like when you're a kid and you got like the bubble in the thing, and then you run out and mom puts the dish soap in the water, and it never works as good
because there's no glycerin.
Yeah,
that's the magic touch.
And
is glycerin.
Yeah, you're just like you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah. So this year I want people to dress up.
Good. Yeah, come in costume. Come.
So, like, if you're pushing a stroller or riding something, make it bubble themed. Okay. So, make it a rocket and have bubbles coming out of the tailpipe.
So, a bubble theme to your costume.
Bubble themed costume. Right. I think would be so much fun. Come on, Roswell. Do me proud.
And there are bubble characters you could use.
Yes. Powerpuff has a bubble character.
Yeah. I would even argue Mr. Bubbles, the scrubbing bubbles guy.
Bubbles.
You should be.
Hey, look, dude.
Especially a guy with a mustache, you could be the scrubbing bubbles guy.
I think all you do is need to be bald, and I think you can do the scrubbing bubbles.
Try with the stash.
Look at
you can be
Mike.
Mr. Bubbles Granddaddy?
There you go. Maybe. Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, I will get this thing going. So. Yeah, I'm like senior bubbles.
There you go.
But yeah, come have fun with it. Just that's what it's about. Sure, if you want to take this as a serious exercise opportunity and get fit, by all means, God bless you, do it. But it's a fun run. We physical fitness is important. But this is about getting together, raising money for Boys and Girls Club for all the great work that they do.
That's kind of the key. So because our Boys and Girls Club is linked up with Lincoln County, so we have the fire. So their resources
have been kind of pulled.
Everything about the Boys and Girls Club right now has just been drained. It's been really hard.
So the Roswell office is pretty bare bones right now.
Yeah, so definitely needing to raise the funds to help them out so that they can service the kids in both locations.
And they're such a great program. I mean, there's families, and they've been expanding over the years here where where they do their after school programs, and they've been able, thanks to generosity of people and things, to add more and more schools each year. And so, like I said, Rio Dos has probably kind of taxed some of the resources at the moment. But let's help. So more than ever, this fun run to bolster funds and get them to where they can get back to doing their full service for all the kids and things.
So even if you're not a runner and you don't want to go walk or ride a bike or roller skate or whatever it is you want to do, sign up, do it as a donation. Help them out. Give them some money, man.
Yeah, it's such a great organization, and they have such a nice facility now. It's long overdue, but finally got one. We need to support foster because our youth. I mean, throw as many programs, opportunities for our kids in our community, and they all do great stuff. And Boys and Girls Club is just one of those ones in the mix, doing great things for our kids.
You know, growing up here in the 80s and the 90s, the Boys and Girls Club was huge. Everybody went over there. The place was always packed. My little brother just loved it.
Yeah. And I moved here when it kind of lulled. And then
after that, they changed directors a little bit, and things just kind of went down. And it had stayed down for a while, and now it was starting to build back up. So we just got to keep that momentum and get it back to what it used to be, because it was a fantastic program.
Yeah, and I think part of that, too, is they kind of reorganized the leadership side. That's when they started incorporating Lincoln County and Chavez County together, and so they can kind of pool their resources. Because I think what was happening is some areas are thriving and others are getting forgotten, and we ended up one of those areas that just the resources dried up a little bit, and we so they said, all right, let's do it. And so come support it. Come. So before you come out to the Health Expo on that Saturday morning, get your bubble gear on and come out and bubble up and bubble run. And
you have plenty of time to run the run, go change, come back, do the expo.
Although you don't have to change. You want to come bubble up into the health fair? Go for it.
We would be happy to do it inside.
I'm here for my mammogram.
We got squishing bubbles.
Good deal. What are some of the other highlights we want to mention that they can also? I mean, obviously these other screenings we're talking about, but is there any other tent pole or businesses or groups that we want to definitely throw a spotlight on?
We're working on getting back to school vaccinations for kids at the Health Expo.
Getting their shot records up to date and everything.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
We got half of it lined up. We just need the coordinating other half.
So anybody listening, they can help push that over the finish line. Reach out to the Health Council.
Yes, if you could help, that would help us.
Absolutely.
But we're trying really, really hard to have those, because around that time, everybody should know what vaccinations they need. So this would be a perfect one-stop place. Get them done.
That's right.
Get it in the system, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about it. You don't got to take your kid to an extra doctor's visit.
Absolutely. It can be easy, but if you don't have your ducks in a row, it can kind of be a real pain in the butt. So just a modicum of just being on top of it will make that process so much easier. So.
Yeah, and if you don't have health insurance, we should have some organizations there that are ready to help you to sign up for health insurance.
Absolutely. Yeah, and plus, of course, November's right around the corner, and that's kind of the time of year when everyone starts renewing plans and all that kind of thing. So get the jump on some of that stuff now, and get that, especially, and I don't know, people don't have it because they don't think they can afford it and things, but this day and age, there are, no matter what you do, where you are, there usually is a plan you can at least afford and get, some kind of coverage. So, and that's some kind of coverage is better than no kind of coverage. Yes. So, definitely. So, at least start the ball there, you know.
And this year we're also going to do voter registration. So there's no political campaigning at all. So no candidates, none of that stuff.
Just sign up to vote.
Just to sign up to vote.
We don't want to know who you're voting for. We just want to know you can vote.
We're keeping the politics out, but we're working on the rest.
As it should be.
Yes.
And I will throw this caveat on there. Stop listening to these people that tell you you're wasting your vote by voting for Float X. You vote for the people that you believe are the right person for the job, and screw what they tell you.
Yeah, we're not all the same. We all have different beliefs, different priorities.
You do your homework, and you pick the person that lines up with what you believe in, regardless of what everyone else tells you you're doing. And that's how America works.
Just vote.
Forget the rest of the noise.
Just vote.
Yep.
That's all that
Forget
matters.
the rest of the noise, and you vote what you personally believe, right? But anyway, we're done talking politics. That was it. But you can register to vote at the Health Expo if you are not already ready. Or I'm assuming change affiliations, do all the things you can do.
Yeah, everything. Because the
to get ready to vote. Yeah.
Oh, Cindy, who is she?
Cindy Fuller, the county clerk.
Yeah,
yes,
clerk.
The Chavez County Clerk. Yes.
It's like Cindy, whatever it is she does, she's going to be there doing it.
Sure. So, by the way, when she's there, so if you're like, I don't even know what district I'm in, she can tell you all that information too. So you're like, what school board district am I in? What county district? Or what city district am I in? You know,
yeah, you can't keep track of those.
It gets a little convoluted after a while, and then they've gone and done moved the lines around, and you're like, I used to be in two.
What do you mean I can't vote for that anymore?
Yeah. To be honest, it's a crapshoot. I forget if I'm in CD 1 or 3 half the time. I'm like, I think is it Ledger? Yeah, it's Fernanda. It's 1. No, it's I forget half the time. I'm like, I don't know. I know it's not 2 anymore. Anyway. If you don't know, they can learn all that. So you can do it online too, but that's another thing you can do at the Health Expo. Of course, are they going to have? Of course, there's usually stuff for the family too. So if the kids come, there's usually things to keep the kids occupied.
We have a lot of vendors that are planning to have some really fun activities. I think there's going to be a popcorn machine.
Oh, nice.
Well, DWI.
They always.
They're going to have the goggles and the simulated impairment equipment.
Yes, so drunk skateboarding or
Yeah.
Drunk scootering.
Come watch your dad fool of himself with the beer goggles. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So you come and bring the family. Oh, by the way, it's indoors.
Yes.
Most of it.
All of it. Well, we'll have a couple of vans outside.
I'll say there's usually a few food trucks or a couple of service trucks.
Stellar Satellite coffee truck will be out there, so you can grab you some coffee.
Yeah.
That's not free, but that supports CASA
I was
kids.
about to say, it's not free, but when you buy from that truck, particularly, that portion of your coffee drinks go back to the CASA program. And if you're not familiar with CASA, they are the voice for your children in courts. They are the ones that when your children, families are going through some of the custody and those kind of things, they're the kind of like the supporter for the kids. They're the ones that speak for the voice for the child in court, that handle visit. They do some tough work, some great work. But
They
when you buy
support families, kids.
Yeah. But they do a lot of
parents,
and it's outside the courtroom. They're doing stuff with working at just families and teens and youth and just family support in various different ways.
And the satellite really, they teach the youth that work through CASA. They employ youth.
Yeah.
And so they're teaching them job skills and resume skills.
And they got dogs, which everyone loves dogs.
Yes. That's my favorite part, because that's where I work during the day. At CASA, and I love the dogs.
Well, I know, like the library, they got their new weekly thing where you get to read to dogs, and I think some of those are the DA dogs, but I think some of the CASA dogs go over there too. I think, and then get read to, and I think it's a cool deal.
Oh, now I'm going to have to go find that one out.
Yeah, I want to say it's like Wednesdays or something. I don't quote me on that, but go get a calendar from the library, and every month they do where the kids can come and they have the dog. I think it's usually the DA dogs, but I want to say some of the CASA dogs do that too, and they'll come over there and they get to pet and love on the dogs and read them books, and the kids get to practice their reading and not be intimidated by someone that's going to tell them they're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? They just and they get to, and the dogs love listening. It's a great idea.
So the one thing I love about this job is that it's collecting and finding the resources and then, coordinating and communicating them back to the public, which is what I love to do. And I do that very well.
Yeah.
And then we come to places like this. And it's like, what? Wait, this is something I haven't heard of yet?
It's such a great idea. Yeah. I've been doing it for a couple months now. It's amazing. What a great idea, because who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't love and kids now get to practice and reading and also create the other side. creating the nurturing side of kids, and ensuring that, and fostering that, all by reading books to dogs. What an amazing idea.
All right, we just need to have a cat. Ooh, what can we do with gerbils?
I don't know, but you need a hamster wheel. Maybe we can get something going there. But,
Squirrel.
But yeah, so please come out, support this stuff, and like you said, go get all that started because we were telling you to get coffee from the Stellar food truck.
Yeah, this is how this goes.
But that's what this Saturday is. It's a community event. That's first and foremost. It's a community event. Come and bring the whole family. It's going to be fun. There's going to be games and prizes and all kinds of stuff. But
we always give away really great prizes.
Absolutely. But
before you get into that, though, I think the biggest part that we need to mention that is brand new this year is that we're doing a Chaves County resource guide.
Okay.
So
kind of like your 2-on-1 in a guide form?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
So it'll list all of the agencies and their phone numbers so that you can contact them if you're needing stuff. It'll be a shortened version of what 2-on-1 does.
Gotcha. Kind of like something you keep in the car, keep in the drawer in the kitchen at the house, or wherever you keep that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and in case you need it, it's there. Hopefully you don't, but when you do, it's there.
Yeah, so this will be the first version of it, and so then for next year, my plan is to grow it, make it bigger and better, and add more stuff to it. I just ran out of time.
Excellent. Well, I like that because then that's something you can still with families, and you can use this as a teaching tool. It's like, all right, when you got your young kids, if something's going wrong, this is a book that's got information. Call a number, 911 if it's bad, but if it's something different, we're not home, and it's not, this is a number, and teach all that stuff.
And there's really great articles in there about health and wellness from our different sponsors. I know we have a big spread from Eastern Hospital. They're always our number one sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got some
healthcare
really
is
great...
kind of their number one priority, so they kind of...
We have some really great information in there along with the resources.
Absolutely. So please, there's so much... Yes, it's fun and games, but there's so much valuable content and information you can take away from this. It's really, if you're needing help, if you have questions, if you're just looking for resources, maybe you're having trouble navigating something and trying to get it done, there's going to be a lot of resources of people that can, if they can't help you directly, put you in touch with people that can help you with that situation or issue.
And it's for all ages. It's not just for any particular person. It's for kids to elderly.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't think of this as just a back to school thing either. If you're having seniors, please come out. If you're needing some screenings for some of various things, diabetes, whatever, stuff that aren't related to shot records or sports physicals or any of that kind of stuff, please come out. If you're needing healthcare, if you're dementia services, things like that, there'll be people there that can give you information on all that kind of stuff. Nursing homes and aftercare, that kind of stuff. There'll be experts there that can help you navigate through those times. Hospice, the things that are needed to talk about, but no one wants to. They will be there available to talk to as well too. So don't think of this as just a back to school fair. It is a complete health fair that it helps the kids that are barely old enough to go to school to people that are
a little years out of school.
Let's see. We'll say well seasoned, and everything in between.
Right.
So please come on. It's going to mark it on your calendars. It's August 24th. It's going to be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. The actual health expo will be from 8 to noon. I think the fun run gets underway. What about 7?
It starts at 7. Okay. Registration at 6:30.
Okay. Now's the time to register for that. Get your registration in before August 1 to get the T-shirt.
Yes.
Because everyone likes to because that's part of the fun run. Part of doing the fun run is getting to say you did the fun run. And the only way you could really, really, really say you did the fun run is if you got the T-shirt.
Yeah, they're pretty snazzy too.
Yeah, and because no way you can get the T-shirt unless you do the fun run. So that's part of the thing is after you've gone and done, and when you told everybody what bubble things you did, no shirt, no proof. So you need the shirt. So. So please support, and then like we said, all of that's going. The proceeds from the bubble run are going to help Boys and Girls Club here in Roswell, and help them, especially since their resources have been pretty depleted due to the fires and flooding in Ruidoso going on right now. So, it's a big deal. Just all the time. Is there anything we missed? Anything that we definitely wanted to cover that
we hit our sponsors?
I got sidebar because of coffee and dogs.
We got our presenting sponsors.
Good deal. And of course, we obviously will have you guys come in as we get close to the event. We just want to remind things. But well, let me ask this. So I know we said booths are full, but is there still sponsorship offered? Like if someone said, I love this, I'd like to sponsor something.
If you want to give us money, you can give us
That's
money,
what I'm saying.
but we can't put your information on anything because all of that's already gone to the printers.
Gotcha. But if you do want to support and you're not looking for recognition, please reach out because the Health Council, it's a nonprofit. Everything is done. It's raised by, local raised or through grants and, the various ways that nonprofits obtain money. So this is all really volunteers and grassroots. So if you want to support it and love to see what we do and like to see more of it, like if you say, man, this is great, y'all should do this, awesome. It takes money to do that. Pony it up.
Right. Well, and that's how we pay mammograms in the
all these free services you're getting. They're not free. Someone's paying for them. It's just not you. And that's the generosity of people in our community and the Health Council itself raising money to cover the costs for these services because it does cost money to bring out specialized people and specialized equipment to do these things.
Yeah. This year Chimera kicked in a little extra so we could do some more mammograms this year so we can offer more.
It's great to see our medical partners coming in. Eastern, Loveless, Chimera, they're all throughout the years, all of these entities have been highly involved in health fair and will continue to do.
They're always a part of it, and we are happy for that.
But again, more information, you can go find the Health Council's Facebook page. Give out the the web address again.
ChavezCountyHC.org.
Very good. Or better yet,
call 211.
Or call 211, and then they'll tell you everything you need to know. Please remember, 211 is not an emergency hotline. If you got an issue and it's 2 a.m, call 911. Don't call 211. The poor folks that have to answer that are probably asleep. It's not an emergency. Wait till work hours and then we'll get you. But but if you do need resources, please don't hesitate to call it. But like I said, it's not an emergency hotline. No, it's not for emergency stuff. If you're just trying to find a doctor, please call during human being alive and awake hours.
You regular people hours.
Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. It's 9:57. What, this hour just disappeared. We got to take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of the Chavez County Fair. They salute the hardworking 4-H and FFA kids in our area, striving to be their best every day. As farmers and ranchers themselves, the crew at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply knows the hard work that goes into making farming and agriculture what it is today. And from the Everyone's a Winner program to actually investing in these future farmers and ranchers during the Junior Livestock Sale, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is proud to support the Chavez County Fair. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part of it, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Of course, we just had the folks from the Health Council join us this hour. Last hour, we played our interview with Alethea from the Communal Theater. And then we had Elliot from Lone Depot and Helica with Harwell and Associates Real Estate in the 7 o'clock hour. Sorry. Hiccups. So all of that, ksvptv.com. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.